Tonight, a season unlike any other continues as the Wampus Cats play host to the Purple Wave from Christian Brothers High School in Memphis. After tonight's conference game at Little Rock Central was canceled due to COVID, the Conway admin got to work and found a game against a brand new opponent, and they are a good one. Winners of 7 of 8 games this year, and with college prospects all over the field, it'll be a great test for the Cats tonight. Kickoff is less than 30 minutes away. But first, it's the Conway Regional Health System pregame show, and that is next on Conway Corp. Hi, and welcome back to the Conway Regional Health System pregame show. Jeff Matthews, joined by the voices of the Wampus Cats, Levi Gilbert and Tim Roach. Fellas, let's talk about last week's game. Homecoming, a good win for the Wampus Cats, and some continued success on the offensive side of the ball, but also good to see the defense get involved. Levi.
Yeah, I mean, this offense is absolutely flying. We've seen it the last really 3 weeks. You go all the way back to North Little Rock. This offense has just hit another gear. Literally, they're just moving so much faster than we've ever been used to. But production-wise, putting up points, you got to feel confident that they could be in really any game, any team, if they can keep putting up points like this.
Absolutely. Defensively, Tim, what are your thoughts on a better performance this past week?
I know for a fact that it was a difficult week in practice for our young men after the Cabot game. 7 touchdowns in the second half. I'm not sure Coach Fimple or anybody related to the organization had ever seen that. So they did a fantastic job. I mean, in-game changes are always hard. So during the Cabot game, you really weren't going to change a lot there. But boy, did they make some changes. They flew to the ball. They made some great decisions in the secondary. And defensively on the front line, we got to the quarterback, and Norwood, as we know, is a fantastic quarterback.
So let's talk about tonight. They talked about a season that has never that we've never seen before. We're seeing someone tonight that is, as far as we can tell, we've never seen, and that is an opponent on the football field that doesn't call any high school in the state of Arkansas home. It's a team out of Memphis, Christian Brothers High School. Guys, you're the ones who get to do the research. I was in your seat for almost 20 years, and I'd have been scrambling to find stuff. What can you tell Wampus Cat fans about the Purple Wave?
Yeah, this offensively, they do something a little bit different than really any of the other teams we've seen so far. They really only go with 2 receivers most of the time, so they have a tight end and an H-back in, just one back in the backfield, so a little heavier, but all of that is designed on purpose because they have a great running game and a great running back. And, yeah, I mean, we're all scrambling to figure out who are these people. Got a great record, but you don't really know how that translates state to state. It's just a very interesting time for us. I mean, I think you put the question out earlier this week. I mean, when was the last time we played an out-of-state team? Has it ever happened? I don't know.
Yeah, we don't know that it has. I talked to Coach Ashcraft for a little bit, and he said that he talked to Coach Smith, Kenny Smith, and Coach Smith said, in my 72 years, I've never known us to do it. I trust that. So that's 72 years worth of Wampus Cat history. And, you know, they weren't traveling too far before that to play games. And so I would doubt it was any time before that. So I'm going to say this is probably the first time. Tim, what are your thoughts on playing a brand new opponent with really just 5 days to prepare?
Yeah, the thing that is going to be good for us is that we have had a murder's row schedule.
Yes.
Everybody we've played has been tough. This team is 7-1, and see if this sounds familiar. They have a great quarterback, looks the part, dynamic running back, and huge offensive lines and defensive lines. I mean, just it's every week for us. So I think we're in a good spot in terms of having played that caliber of team, at least physically. Here's the thing that we're hoping for, that they have not played a fast team like the Wampus Cats offensively.
It'll be interesting to see. And wouldn't it be something if down the road we realize that a game like this, a challenge like this at home helps us once you get to state tournament time? That a game that we missed out on a game against Central, a conference game on the road, but you get another week at home. The preparation is different. Everything playing out towards the Bryant game at the end of the year and then the state tournament when it hits in November. So we'll see how all of that plays out. Guys, have a great call of the game. It'll be fun to see you tell the story of Conway and Christian Brothers coming up in just a few minutes here on Conway Corp.
You don't wake up thinking about internet speed, electricity, reliability. Your mind isn't on advanced treatment facilities or customizable systems. You don't have to think about any of these things because we do. Conway Corp, always on.
Welcome back to the Conway Regional Health System pregame show. I'm Jeff Matthews, joined by the voice of the Wampus Cats, Levi Gilbert. We are joined by the head Wampus Cat. It is Coach Keith Fimple, who is with us live from he's live right now. While you're watching this, he's probably doing something else. But he's live with us right now from the indoor facility. Looks great in there, Coach. Team is 2-1, putting up a lot of points 2 weeks in a row, scoring over 40.
Oh, yeah, I tell you what, they've done a great job. And like I said, very blessed with some skilled skilled players outside. Helps out tremendously. But, just happy with the overall growth of the football team. And like we've said many weeks in a row, the more they play, the better off they are. It's very fortunate to, be able to get a game this Friday night. So we're going to keep on with what we got and just keep working from there.
Coach, your defense showed up big too, allowing just 12 points, big interception from Ashton Waller, his 4th of the year. It had to feel good for the defense to respond like that.
Fortunately, you had to go through those learning stages, and I think we learned one there in the second half at Cabot, and it was good for us to get back on the track that we've been on defensively. I've been really happy with the turnovers they've been able to produce. Right now I think they're at 17 or 18 turnovers, whether it's a fumble or interceptions, and I think they're just growing each week.
Coach, you talked about skilled players and the weapons that you have on offense, and one of those for the 2 seasons he's been on the field has been Manny Smith. He looks healthy.
I think he's done a really good job. We got him playing numerous positions. I know Coach Kelly and his staff, on that side of the football to a point now where they're starting to move people around to learn different, positions and things like that to where we can get matchups that we want, and it's an ongoing process. But, Manny, I agree with you. I think that he's healthy now, and, even with him being, 60 or 70%, he's probably better than most people that you play. So it's very fortunate, again, to have him on our team too.
And 2 other Wampus Cats had big nights. Sophomores Boogie Carr and Wes Boudreaux got their first touchdowns at the varsity level.
Can't be more happier than the way we're dispersing the ball, to different people. And, again, as a defensive guy, you start looking at, hey, did we take this guy out of it? But we have other weapons when you do things like that. So, again, being fortunate to have those guys and the work ethic that they've had to provide what they need as far as getting the ball to them has worked out real well for us.
Coach, the rhythm of a high school football schedule is 3 games against non-conference opponents and then your 7 games against your conference. Well, now here we are in week 8. And like you said, we're playing. It's a non-conference, an opponent that we don't know anything about. It's Christian Brothers, the Purple Wave out of Memphis. Give us a little bit of background about how this has all come about.
Well, in this situation here, every week is a blessing to be able to play. And, of course, we tried to do some things last time. We had a cancellation and, just couldn't get it worked out. But, fortunately, we ended up getting this game here through different connections, guys on my staff, guys in our conference, we just talked about Coach Reed being from Cabot, coached, the head coach at Christian Brothers. So it worked out real well for us. But, not only that, to get a quality opponent with, Division I players all over the place, but, that provides what I want and what I see it for our program is playing big-time competition.
Well, the other thing it's going to do is come November when you win, if you win and you move on, but you don't know who your opponent's going to be a week out. You've got just that time to prepare. And in kind of an odd way, this is going to start preparing us for the playoffs.
It actually went from one of my text messages this week to the staff was on Saturday was that, we'll meet at 2:00 and we'll start, talking about the open week and how we wanted to go through it. until don't be late at 2 o'clock on Sunday. We have an opponent, Christian Brothers, who we're unfamiliar with, so we've got to go to work. And again, I'm very blessed with the staff I have, the way the camaraderie and the way they're working on the sidelines is, getting better for us because we have a lot of new guys and the communication's getting better each week with us. But to have a common opponent to work on is a tremendous asset for us.
We'll kick it off soon, Coach. Appreciate your time.
Appreciate you guys.
Welcome back. It is the Conway Regional Health System pregame show. Jeff Matthews with you. Levi Gilbert also here. And the other man you see on your screen is Connor Crutchfield, senior offensive lineman for the Wampus Cats. Connor, thank you for spending some time with us today prior to the game against Christian Brothers. And we've talked to everybody on the offensive side of the ball this year, what it's like with Mark Kelly's offense. So what have those changes been like for you on the offensive line? I'm sure blocking is different. Knowing what's going on is different. How have the changes come about for you this year?
Yes, sir. Well, first of all, thank you for inviting me. Thank you for having me.
Yeah.
Coach Kelly, it's fast-paced. It's awesome. It's up front. It's just blow people off the ball, open stuff up for Jamal to do his thing. Let Manny get back there and do what he can. And, everybody across the board is just on the same page. Just take everybody out of the way and just open it up. Let us do our thing. Fast-paced. Let's punch it down their mouth type stuff every play.
It's been a big flip from a year ago. This offense is passing the ball almost 70% of the time now compared to 45% a year ago. What areas of your game have you had to focus on improving to help with that shift in focus for the offense?
Well, across the board on the O-line, we've had to work on, footwork, stuff like that in pass pro, setting to the right spot, not oversetting, letting people pass us across our face, stuff like that, hand placement, all the small things that really end up mattering more than anything in the game. Stuff, like I said, just having your feet in the right place, keeping them moving, stuff like that. Not moving your head too much, just doing what you got to do to make sure Ben's got time to do his thing.
So I hear the energy in your voice when you talk about this new offense. I know from an outsider's perspective, we always think it's the skill guys that love this type of fast-paced offense and we're moving. Well, you big guys inside, there's a lot more that you're carrying that you've got to get down the field quickly and get set. But it sounds like you and the rest of the offensive line have taken to it.
Yes, sir. Me and, Jacoby Ekman and Jaden now, he wasn't here at the start, but he's here now with us, and Nick. We all really love this fast pace. Me and Jacoby got a little bit of experience last year with the slower kind of get settled in, figure out what's going on. And this year we've gotten the chance to, get like I said earlier, punch it down the throat, do what we can type offense. And it's really great. It's awesome. It's a new change, and it's welcomed by all of us.
It's been a really unique season, of course, because of COVID, and this week's no different with Central forced to cancel because of COVID. We have a non-conference out-of-state opponent coming in with Christian Brothers out of Memphis. What's it feel like to be a part of a little bit of Conway Wampus Cat history playing an out-of-state opponent this week?
It's super cool. I mean, just the chance to, not have to worry about the things like conference, worry about the point system, stuff like that, just – get to go out there and play a really good team and see what we're at. See how we face up against a team like Christian Brothers. They're a good team and we're good too, and we're going to see how it goes. But, we're all really excited across the board to just get a chance to play some guys like this.
Connor Crutchfield, a senior offensive lineman, is in the senior spotlight for this week. And Connor, we've asked all the other seniors. I want to ask you, tell me about your story as far as football goes. What's your earliest memories? How'd you start playing? Who'd you play for early on? Who are your favorite teams and players? And just tell us about your story with football.
Well, from a really young age, as far as back as I can remember, we've sat at home watching the Mississippi State Bulldogs play on the TV, ringing them cowbells loud. We grew up in Mississippi, moved here about 9th grade, and ever since then tried out for the team, made it for Coach Rainey, and just, worked and built my way up to where I am now, thankfully. With the help of Coach Fimple and now Coach D and all those guys, Coach Rogers, it was awesome.
So growing up in Mississippi, did they have something similar to what we have here as far as Optimist goes, or what'd you play as a youth player?
We had a city league type thing, but it wasn't anything like Optimus. It wasn't nearly as competitive as that. It was kind of just get out there and learn the fundamentals type thing, just this is how you hold your hands when you catch a ball, stuff like that. It was small, but nothing like Optimus.
Okay, so there's something you and I have in common. We both kind of root primarily for a team that isn't the Razorbacks. I'm an Oklahoma Sooner fan growing up out there. Do you catch any grief for being a Bulldog fan here?
Oh yes, sir. After the Razorbacks beat us, I got everything from everybody. Man, they were all over me that week because I was super excited when we beat LSU. We lost to the Razorbacks, and I came up here for practice and just got waylaid by all those guys talking about it.
Hey, that's what's great about sports is you tee it up in the next week and you get another chance to brag a little bit. Well, Connor, we appreciate it. It's been fun to watch you, and we can't let you go without asking you about what happened in the fourth quarter. You kind of become we want to make you a viral sensation on that block and the point. And so talk us through that play when you sprung Bryce for that touchdown in the fourth quarter.
Well, when we first worked that play into the game plan early on in the season, I always, was hoping for a chance to get that, but I was just doing what I was coached. It was nothing big. Just play 100 miles an hour, as Coach D always tells us, and stuff like that will work out. It just happened to be really big and happened to get caught on camera, wasn't trying to do anything special. It just happened, and luckily Bryce was able to do his thing afterwards.
Well, we had to slow it down because you were at 100 miles an hour for people to see it. So, yeah, the ability to show a little slow motion. So, man, we appreciate your time. It's been great to watch you play, and we're looking forward to seeing how the rest of this year plays out, Connor. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
You don't wake up thinking about internet speed, electricity, reliability. Your mind isn't on advanced treatment facilities or customizable systems. You don't have to think about any of these things because we do. Conway Corp. Always on.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to John McConnell Stadium. I'm Levi Gilbert alongside Tim Roach. And in a season full of strangeness, things are getting even stranger tonight. It's Week 8, and your Wampus Cats were supposed to be at Quigley Stadium tonight, taking on the Little Rock Central Tigers. But here we are at home after finding out this past weekend that Central had to cancel their 4th straight game due to COVID. We are playing a non-conference game here in the midst of conference season, and it's not just any normal non-conference opponent. It's a seemingly historic night for the Wampus Cats as they play host to an out-of-state opponent. And from what we've gathered talking to various coaches, past, present, we don't think this has ever happened before. I mean, reach out to us on 5 Sports Live if you can remember a time. But yeah, out-of-state opponent in Memphis, Tennessee's Christian Brothers, and it's not just any team. This is a team that is really good. One of the best in Tennessee.
They're absolutely talented. They're 7-1 coming into this ball game. Again, we don't really know a lot about them. There's not a lot of game film on them, quite frankly, and so we'll find out more as we play the game. But we'll give it our best shot, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, we'll have lots to talk about, I'm sure. We're going to go ahead and pause. Put our attention on the field for the presenting of the colors and the playing of the national anthem. playing of the national anthem there by the Conway High School Band. We are primed for what's going to be an entertaining tonight as your Wampus Cats set to play host to Christian Brothers out of Memphis, Tennessee. We're going to take a 30-second break and be back with all the action here on Conway Corp.
For nearly 100 years, Conway Regional has provided high-quality, compassionate health care to the communities we serve, and we are honored to be named the 2020 Best Hospital in Arkansas by readers of AY Magazine. Thank you to the thousands of readers who chose Conway Regional as the best hospital. We are bringing you innovative services, new clinics, more specialists, and expanded access to care. We are not just growing, we are growing together.
Live in Conway, I'm Levi Gilbert, and he's Tim Roach, your Wampus Cats, set to play host to the Purple Wave tonight. It's got to be a first time we've had Wampus Cats taking on Purple Wave, two very unique mascots. That's Christian Brothers out of Memphis, Tennessee. They are led by a running back who is the 10th ranked prospect in the state of Tennessee for the class of 22. Not the 10th ranked running back, the 10th ranked prospect overall for his class. And this offense is really built around feeding him the ball early and often. And that's going to take us into Tim's 3 things to watch for tonight.
Well, they do. They run the ball, not exclusively, but boy, they lean on it very heavily. And so their offensive line and defensive line, if you look in the trenches, they're both huge. They're both fast. If you look on the offensive side, DJ Harden, number 73, he will stand out. They're big, but he stands out. He's huge. He's fast. His skills are really top-notch. He's proven over and over again that he can absolutely handle the edge as well as the inside. They're going to give Hayden a lot of room into the inside. That's going to be where they're working. On the defensive side, they are very fast. The number 64, Dowell, is a fantastic inside interior defensive lineman. If we run at him, we're going to have to get multiple hats on him as we go. So they're in the trenches. They're going to be big. We've got to counter that. We've faced this before. We haven't faced them before, but we faced big offensive lines, big defensive lines. It's something we can adjust to.
Yeah, one thing you're going to see this team do a lot that we really haven't seen any other teams do. Maybe Bentonville was a little bit like this, but they like to run sets with a tight end and an H-back and just go with 2 receivers, so a little bit bigger sets. And, once you see them playing, you'll understand why.
Well, so they're old school in a lot of ways, and that's actually, one of the things that they do. They don't rush to the ball like the Wampus Cats do. They kind of take their time, but they do that because they run the ball all the time. So that leads into the second thing that I would say, which is we need to be able to keep the ball. One of the things that I think you'll see for us is trying to keep the ball away from Hayden. That's going to be, don't kick the ball to him. Keep our offense on the field and their offense off the field, and then really just bring the house against them. So we've got to find a way to keep the ball, get a lot of first downs, take big plays when they come. Those are always great, but we like those drives where it's 7, 8, 9, 10 plays where you're just inching the ball down the field and keep him off the field. Then the last thing I would say is defensive momentum. We saw in Cabot a nightmarish, if you will, second half where Cabot scored 7 touchdowns. Against Fort Smith Northside, we really cleaned up a lot of things. Some things in the secondary, some things in the defensive line. We put pressure on Norwood. He was a dangerous guy. Again, Christian Brothers has a mobile quarterback, so it's not like we haven't faced that previously. We've seen a lot of really good quarterbacks. We haven't seen this good of a running back. I know Sims was good for North Little Rock, but this guy is really special. So we need to be able to maintain what we saw at Northside. So whatever happened there, whether that's that third quarter defense practices they had all week long, that's what we want to continue. We want to be able to keep what we did at Northside and move that forward.
See Bryce Bohannon there, team captain. He's lost two coin tosses in a row. Maybe he can get back on his winning ways here tonight. We are just about 3 minutes away from kickoff. We're going to take another 30-second break. We'll be back with kickoff between Conway and Christian Brothers here on Conway Court.
Arkansans appreciate community. We work and raise families, care for our neighbors, and come together in good times and bad. At First Security, that local strength is what we love best about our home state. There is commitment here, and heart, and hope. Thank you to everyone who is standing together, learning from one another, and making Arkansas a place we all love to call home. We're proud to be your community bank.
Back at John McConnell Stadium, the suspense. There we go. Bryce Bohannon back in his winning ways.
It's great to have Bryce Bohannon back, winning the coin toss.
Bryce winning the coin toss. He had 2 rough weeks in a row where he didn't. He was undefeated before that. But Bryce having what a senior season for him. It's been really exciting to see how his game has just absolutely blossomed in this new Mark Kelly offense. I guess I don't need to say new anymore. I mean, we are in week 8.
That's right. Now, he's been the focal point from a receiving perspective, but then really, I mean, if you think about what he's done on both sides of the ball in the return game, he plays every place that we can put him. So his secondary, I mean, he had a great play against Cabot in the secondary late in the game. So we can use him in all places. He's just a fabulous young man and a great athlete. Wonderful ambassador for Conway.
Yeah, 2 names and numbers that you won't be hearing tonight is number 4, Dylan Silverman Barnes, senior receiver. He is not dressed out tonight. In fact, you can see him on the sideline. You might see him later in one of our shots. He is in street clothes in his jersey. And then number 29, our starting running back, Jamal Bethune. He is dressed out. He came out in warm-ups and just didn't look quite right. We heard that there was a chance he might not play tonight, and it does not appear that he will be. Here come your Wampus Cats, 60 seconds away from opening kickoff here in Week 8, a non-conference game in Week 8. I just can't get my head wrapped around that.
This is a little bit like a college atmosphere. So you take that break, but here's what normally happens in the collegiate level. You play a cupcake. You bring in somebody that you know you're going to win, just kind of get some things worked out, give some guys some rest. That's not what we did here. Christian Brothers is an absolutely legit. I think they're highly ranked in the state of Tennessee. So we're playing a very elite program out of the state of Tennessee with, again, arguably top 10 talent at running back, who's just a junior, by the way. Just a junior.
If you heard me clapping in the middle of your talking there, I was killing a spider that was descending down from the ceiling upon me.
Okay.
It was not about that life. Sorry about that.
That's
You said it. This is the number 8 ranked team in Tennessee's Super 25 high school football rankings. That according to the Commercial Appeal, which is no schlub of a magazine or a newspaper. So
no.
This is no cupcake for sure. It's in a lot of ways, it's kind of like your Wampus Cats. The Wampus Cats ranked number 5 in the state overall, and they're taking on a team tonight that's ranked number 8 in Tennessee. Just for raw numbers, Tennessee's at least twice as large as the state of Arkansas. So, got to see a new kicker in here tonight.
And first penalty of the ball game, offsides against the Wampus Cats. Again, in high school ball, if someone gets their full body beyond the line of scrimmage before, or the kick line of scrimmage before the kick, then they call it back. It's an immediate dead ball. In college and in pros, they let the play continue, but here we got to stop back 5 yards.
So that is sophomore Xander Williams, and with the penalty, they're going to bring in the freshman Adrian Mejia, the regular kicker we've seen this year on kickoffs. What we've understood is that the sophomore is going to be coming in to do some squib kicks, again, trying to keep it away from number 1, Dalen Hayden for Christian Brothers. But with the penalty, I guess they're going to kick it deep here. Christian Brothers will start with good field position around the 40.
Immediately you can see the size. I mean, I know it's special teams, but immediately you can see the size. And I hope it comes across on your TV screen or wherever you're watching how huge these guys are. They are very big. They remind me of Bentonville, unfortunately, just from a size perspective.
Tavis Taylor getting the start tonight at linebacker. Got a little bit of confusion in the secondary. They're going to get a pass. And it's going the distance on the first play, the Purple Wave.
So we had some mix up in the secondary. We were rotating a guy across the line of scrimmage. I think that was McClure, who was coming across the line of scrimmage, lost the tight end off the edge, really selling out to stop Hayden and left it wide open.
Yeah, that was Ty Wilson on that 60-yard touchdown reception. He's the backup running back, so I was a little confused. He was playing in that tight end spot there. Christian Brothers up on their first offensive play, first play of the game. The Purple Wave leads 7-0. 30-second break, and we're back here on Conway Court.
Located on Robinson Avenue next to Laurel Park, the Conway Regional Rehabilitation Hospital is one of only 4 licensed inpatient rehab hospitals in the entire state. Patients are cared for by specially trained staff under the direction of an on-site physician who specializes in rehabilitation medicine. Conway Regional Rehab Hospital, your choice for comprehensive care to bring you one step closer to home.
60-yard touchdown pass to Ty Wilson gets Christian Brothers on the board on their first offensive play. They lead 7-0. We talked so much about their vaunted run game, and they come right out of the gates with a passing play.
Yeah, it's one of those they know we know that they know that we know that they know, and we were not lined up in the right spots, and they caught us kind of unaware on the outside, and it's a long game from there.
Martin Wachowski kicking off for the Purple Wave. Bryce Bohannon and Manny Smith back. Will be Manny taking this one and tries to make a cut around the 20 and lands on the turf. That's where the Wampus Cats will start their first offensive possession tonight.
Yeah, it's good to see him bounce right back up. Anytime Manny goes down in a quick fashion, you got to worry about ankle injuries that he's sustained over the last year or two. So good to see him bounce up.
Nathan Moix getting the start tonight at receiver in place of Silverman Barnes. First snap for the Wampus Cats. Weiss is going to find Bryce Bohannon right at the 30. He'll be taken back. Forward progress will be marked at the 30-yard line.
That's a good first down play. The throw took a long time to get there, and that's one of the things you got to worry about a little bit. But they've played so far off of Bryce there at that time, it was able to be completed.
Boogie Carr getting the start tonight in place of Jamal Bethune. Weiss looking for Nathan Moix, overthrown just a smidge.
Yeah, Nathan Moix is in for Dylan Silverman Barnes. He is a senior. He understands what's going on. It's good maturity out there. Pass was just a little bit high there, a little amped up.
Empty backfield for Weiss. He's looking for Boogie Carr. Carr at the 35 is going to take it down near the 37. Bring up 3rd and short for the Wampus Cats.
Yeah, not a bad play there. Didn't accomplish what you wanted to on first down, but on second down, you got yourself in a good position. 3rd and 3, not bad.
They'll move trips to the right. Bryce Bohannon near side. Going to roll out to his right, find Wes Boudreau on a quick little screen, and he is tripped up a little bit behind the line of scrimmage.
That's the second slip we've seen by our receiver, and then for Manny Smith. We did have some rain here
we
earlier
did have
in the
a downpour today.
Yeah, we did. So field probably a little slick, and we've got guys that kind of scatter around the yard. So, wow.
They're going to stay on, trying to draw them off sides. We might see Weiss step back here. We saw this 2 weeks ago at Cabot. Weiss handling the quick kicks here. Nobody back for Christian Brothers. Get a Conway Wampus Cat bounce down to the 24. Good job there by Weiss.
Yeah, it didn't work out last time. So they've obviously worked on it. This is what they do in our junior varsity games. We see the pooch kick. That's how they operate normally. And Searcy did that before when Kelly was at Searcy. So not necessarily foreign concept. Okay, well, you got the first bad play out of the gate. Now what do you plan to see? You should see a little bit of number 1 here. A lot of Hayden here.
Strother and Hayden in the backfield. They'll hand off to Hayden over on that left side. He is dragging Wampus Cats down past the first down marker.
He's a combination of a load to bring down, fast to the edge, really has all the skills. He's just a phenomenal running back.
First down, Purple Wave. I'm going to say Purple Wave as many times as I can tonight. They'll go twins to the right. Another handoff to Hayden.
Yeah, a little bit better job there in the interior line. You had Preston Prock closing down off of the edge. The inside of their offensive line is huge, big. They ran right behind number 73, Harden, and really didn't pick up any. I mean, 2nd and 9 for this defense is going to be good. We would love to stay in that kind of spot with 2nd down.
Strother will have a 3-receiver set this time. Tight end in motion. They're going to hand off to Hayden again. He bounces it back out to the left. He's going to have a first down and more. Trey McClure trying to track him down and push him out of bounds near the 25.
That's where we're going to have the most trouble, I think. Inside is always going to be a challenge for us, but if this guy bounces it outside and gets one-on-one with our secondary or our edge cornerback or linebacker, man, this guy's going to be tough to bring down. And as fast as he is, once he gets, to the 7 or 8 yard spot, and you've got those kind of guys in our backfield trying to make a tackle, it's a long, long game.
Hayden had amassed almost 1,400 yards in their first 6 games. Those are the extent of the stats that I have on them, but that's a lot of yards in 6 games. They'll hand off to Hayden again, but he's caught up in the middle, being dragged down by Jalen McEwen.
Looks like we've game planned to make sure we're taking away the middle of the field. We've got to make sure, though, that as we do that, they'll try to pop that outside run again, get right off the edge. If we continue to crash down and fill the middle, just to make that off tackle and that draw, a no gain or a short gain kind of play, they're going to work the edge on us at this point.
2nd and 6. And you guessed it, handoff to Hayden. Right up the middle, he's going to be close to that first down marker.
Jaden Robinson makes the stop at the 16-yard line.
Yeah,
it's going to be 3rd down and 1.
Just short. I don't think. No, they've got massive amount of substitutions here. So
bringing in the big ones.
Yeah, yeah. Reloading is basically what that is. But a good play there. You don't want to see that kind of yardage given up, but it's another 4 or 5 yards. 1 second down.
Go with like a goal line set here on 3rd and 1. Hand off to Hayden. He's got the first down and more. Touchdown, Purple Wave, 16-yard rush for Hayden.
That was easy as you please, and he really didn't use the heavy set in the backfield. He got off tackle. We followed where the lead blocker was going to go and left the interior part of our defensive secondary and linebackers on that side empty, and it's a walk-in.
3.5 minutes into the play here, and your Wampus Cats trailing 14-0. 30-second break, and we're back here on Conway Court.
Helton's Wrecker U-Haul has the service you need. Whatever the automotive problem, Helton's has the diagnostics to repair it. If you're moving across town or across country, Helton's is your #1 choice for U-Haul in Conway. We have a wide selection of packing supplies for every aspect of your move. Also, we sell and install hitches. Call 327-4696 for a quote. At Helton's Wrecker U-Haul, we are always on our toes. Give us a call at 327-7681.
Back at John McConnell Stadium, your Wampus Cats trailing 14-0. 7:36 to play here in the first quarter. 2 possessions, 2 quick scores for the Purple Wave.
Well, if size equals success in terms of team size, man, they are big and they're fast. We'll have to adjust. Our coaches are going to go to work now.
Squib kick will be taken in by Boogie Carr. He's going to bring it out to the left side. Taken down around the 29-yard line.
Could have called offsides there. They had a guy that was pretty much similar to what we had in the first kickoff, but somewhere around the 30-yard line. That's a good starting spot for the Wampus Cats. See if we can bounce back here. We got a good first down, but then the drive stalled. We need some first downs here.
First play, they're going to try and set up the screen to Boogie Carr. He's got some room. He's going to get a gain of 3 or 4.
He set up and stood still, and nobody really paid attention to him. Unfortunately, their backers were not too far out.
2nd and 7. Weiss looking deep for Bryce Bohannon. Bryce makes a move. Back midfield, past the 25, going across the way. 8th touchdown reception of the year for Bryce Bohannon. 68 yards.
What a great play by Bryce. I mean, he made the open field moves that you expect from Bryce Bohannon. Fantastic downfield blocking. Wes Boudreaux came across and had a key block at around the 25-yard line that completely opened up the right side of the field. Great job by Wes Boudreaux.
Wampus Cats answering back quickly. 68-yard touchdown reception to Bryce Bohannon. 30 seconds and we're back here on Conway Corp.
Take it outside, boys!
Johnson's down the right side. He crosses over to O'Connor and shoots. Oh, brilliant.
You didn't plan on a disaster, but you have a choice on who restores it. Choose the best. Tell your insurance provider you choose All Clean USA.
Mom said take it outside.
Conway offense taking very little time to answer back. Getting the score back to within 7, 14-7, 6:57 to play. We're not even to the midway mark of the first quarter. Already 21 points on the board combined.
Wow, this is like Cabot all over again. So really good play, though. I mean, you had to answer there. You had to get a score, and we did what we had to do there, and Bryce Bohannon is the ticket.
Mejia, the targeted kick, will be fair caught around the 29. Purple Wave have had no issues finding the end zone here in the first quarter.
No, defensively, we looked a little bit downtrodden as we came off the field. That's after the second score. The first score was just whatever it is. It's a busted play, and you give up a long one-play drive. The other drive, though, was one that was a little bit tougher to take, but our coaches were working hard on the sidelines. Hopefully we've got some answers here.
3 receivers set for Strother. Hand off to Hayden. He's going to fall forward for a gain of 4.
Well, and so the one good thing there, I know 4 or 5 yard gain is not good on first down. Wow, it's really strange to see people huddle up. Sorry, it broke my concentration.
It is, yeah, I have the same problem.
But the thing that happened there was that he had to dance in the backfield. It's a small victory. I don't want to call it a moral victory, but the fact is he didn't have to hit the hole right out of the gate. Where there was a gap. He had to actually pick a spot. That's a good first step.
2nd and 5. Hand off to Hayden. Up the middle again. It's going to fall close to that first down marker, and they're going to go ahead and call it a first down.
Yeah, this is, you'd think he would get tired eventually, but I don't know. This is like almost in every play, except for the first play. I think every other play has gone to him. So, we've got to try to wear on him and lean on him a little bit when he's got the ball.
Twins to the right for Strother. A handoff to Hayden. It's going to counter back to the left. Met at near the line of scrimmage. Good play there by
Jaden Robinson. Yeah, he stayed home. You talked about it being a counter play, and we don't see this is like old school football here.
It is, yeah.
So they ran a counter play, and we did a great job of staying home. That's a spot where if he plants his foot and gets into the gap, that could be trouble. And Jaden Robinson played it well, filled the gap, and he's not a huge guy. He's way outsized by this running back, and he made a good tackle there.
2nd and 8, trips to the right. Get a pass out to Wilson. That ball bounces up, almost picked off.
Boy, there was a lot of good things that could have happened for the Wampus Cats there. The ball got popped up. If we actually have our head on a swivel there, we might pick that off and go the distance. But you want to make the play first. You don't want to gamble and miss and see somebody go, 60 yards. But boy, 3rd and long, wow, that's a change.
Yeah, this is the interesting spot for a team like this, is so heavily dependent on the run. What do they do when they get in a passing down?
Well, and this could be a Hayden down too.
They will hand it off to Hayden. He's out on that left side. They will be stopped near the 45-yard line, bring up 4th down.
That's a really, really, really good play. And they did there what I kind of felt like they might do, which was try to bounce it to the outside. That's where they've had the most success. They've had some good success in the middle, but really been trouble on the outside. He just couldn't quite get there. There. It looks like the offense is still on the field, though.
Yeah, offense staying on the field. Bringing in that big set again. They scored the last time they were in this formation, and Keith Fimple wants to talk it over with his squad. Timeout on the field. We'll take it with them. 30 seconds, and we're back here on Conway Court.
From day one, Centennial has been there for the people of Conway, the people that teach us, protect us, guide us, and work to make Conway better every day. That's why we've donated over $5 million to local organizations and causes. And we have the same commitment to serving you for life's milestones and everyday moments. Centennial Bank, proud to call Conway and Faulkner County home.
Well, 4th and 5 coming up for the Purple Wave. They brought out that big formation that they scored on their last possession.
Well, honestly, we've had about 3 or 4 plays where we've really done a good job of holding them less than 4 or 5 yards. So in their mind, and again, it's a non-conference game for them as well as it is for us. So at the 45-yard line, you've had some really good success. They've only been stopped a few times. Why not try to go for it? I totally get it. If I had Hayden in my backfield, it might be a good option.
They will keep the offense on the field.
Not that they'll go to him. I mean, they've obviously shown that they can throw it, but boy, this is a big set.
Trying to draw the Wampus Cats offside, and they will call a timeout.
Yeah. I was hoping that that's what they were going to try to do.
Let's go ahead and hold it here for this one. So seemingly your Wampus Cat defense catching a break there. They don't jump off sides. I'm guessing now we're going to see the punt team.
Yeah, it looks like they're making a change over on the sidelines, and the offensive line is walking off. So, they haven't had a lot of punts in their schedule so far this year. They're not used to that. But boy, this is an emotional win for the Wampus Cats. After the 2 drives that they had, this is a big win.
William Simonton, junior punter in. He's going to take a few steps to his right and booms one. Bryce Bohannon and hauling it in right around the 14 or 13. He boomed that one.
Yeah,
wow.
For kind of a sidewinder kind of kick, one of those rugby kicks, that's a long way. And here's the thing, if he doesn't catch that, depending upon the bounce, they had a guy flying right by him that could have downed it in way deep. And again, you want to take advantage of everything you can get, and so that's a good decision by Bryce to catch the ball there, even in a little traffic.
Boogie Carr in the backfield with Weiss, trips to the right. No handoff to Carr. He makes a move. Going to get about a gain of 3.
Against some of our 7A brethren in the state, Boogie's kind of a normal-sized back, but against these guys, he's a little small. Probably hard to find in all of the mess down there.
No handoff to Carr again. Looks like close to the same play. Gain a few more, set up a manageable 3rd and 3.
Yeah, this looks like kind of a drive like we want. We would like to be able to get a few more yards there. We'd like 3rd and 1, but just keep the ball.
Weiss looking to his right, trying to find Micah Mosby, and a contact early out there. No flags on the field. Bring up 4th and 3.
Yeah, that's too bad there. did look like a little bit of premature contact, but no flag. Hoping we'll get the same call on the other side.
Trips to the right, trying to draw them off sides, and they do.
Yes.
That's the advantage to letting your quarterback do these quick kicks. You can try and get an offsides like you did there. Move the chains.
You know, the coaching staff, is saying, don't jump, don't jump, don't jump. And you just, sometimes it doesn't matter. I mean, I've been there and I know what it's like. You just want to make a play, and that's just not very aware of going in.
1st and 10 at the 26. They'll hand off to Carr again. And he is going to have a whole lot of nothing on that one.
Well, so here's what they're doing as well. Now they're bringing the edge. So 44 comes flying off of the outside edge and makes the play from the other side of the field that he was on. So they're beginning to crash the edges. Maybe that'll pop something outside for these ones, quick screens.
Talking about Dylan Bowers there. They fake to Boogie. Weiss throws a little bit behind Manny Smith. Manny acrobatic out there.
What a catch by Manny Smith. I mean, literally had to reach all the way behind him and spin around and make the catch. Manny Smith, great job there.
1st down, Cats. I don't know how he caught that. I'm still trying to process that one.
Well, that looked like an incompletion all the way, and he just glue hands.
I'll hand off to Carr again, and he's got a little bit of a seam there. 9-yard gain for Boogie.
So that's the upside of them crashing that outside edge. If you can beat that, then it opens up a gap into the middle of the field because they're taking guys that are normally in the middle and flashing on the outside edge, and it opens it up.
2nd and 1. Weiss fakes to Boogie. Going to get Manny Smith for a quick reception and 1st down.
You know, it didn't seem like much, but you only needed 2 yards or a yard, and you got 2 or 3. That's okay. This is first downs. Our coaching staff has been preaching this. Just keep the ball away from Hayden. First down.
Empty backfield for Weiss. Looking to his right. He's got Manny Smith wide open. Manny Smith, 50 yards. Touchdown.
Woo. That's a kapow moment. Manny Smith right down the seam. We saw that play last year. Earlier this year. Right down this middle of the field. Wide open. You get him on a linebacker, and the safeties have played up. Manny Smith's going to win that if you could just give him time to throw, and he did.
That's definitely the matchup you want for Manny Smith in space against the linebacker. Adrian Mejia. Point after is good, and we've got a tie ball game. 28 points combined here in the 1st quarter. 2:08 left to go. 30 seconds, and we're back on Conway Corp.
You're watching Conway Corp, Channel 5 and 585. Conway's source for local community programming. Here you'll find the Wampus Cats, Conway City Council, here and there featuring local events. Burn and breathe that will get your heart rate up and down. Find new adventures on a wave for a day, or grab your sketch pad and draw with Mr. Foy's easel. Plus, learn more about Conway Corp store. We're creating original programming with Conway in mind on Conway Corp Channel 5 and 585.
Back at John McConnell Stadium, your Wampus Cats tying things up. 14-all, 2:08 to go here in the 1st quarter. It's been a lot of action here in this 1st quarter. Not even 10 minutes into the game. Nicely placed kick there by Mejia. Christian Brothers will take it over around the 24.
So back to the touchdown pass. You know, Ben Weiss, there have been times when he's not had a lot of time to throw, and on that play, and hopefully that'll continue, great protection by the offensive line. They really did a great job of giving him that good pocket. He set his feet, and by that time, if he's got his feet set, we have guys that can get past their secondary. Great play.
Strother will start this one passing, and he had a man open. Bryce Daly just overthrew him.
Yeah, Ashton Waller out in coverage there, and at the last second, he got past Ashton. Ashton had a little bit of a bad angle there if he connects on that, but the problem is you got to drop that. I mean, it's on the boundary. You've got to drop it perfectly, And, I mean, they don't throw the ball much, so they don't have a whole lot of practice doing that.
2nd and 10. They'll hand off. They'll fake to Hayden. Strother will keep it out on that left side. He's going to get a gain of around 8.
Yeah, he's dangerous when he gets the ball in his hand. We talked a little bit about it before we came on the air. He's a tough running quarterback, but he's not very fluid. That's a good 8-yard pickup on 1st and or 2nd and 10.
6 foot 208. Strother's got some size out there.
Bringing in a new quarterback. Look at the size of this guy.
Looks like Jackson Hammond.
Oklahoma used to call it was back in the day was a guy named they call it the bulldozer, just a huge quarterback, and running the ball was his specialty. That's what he did. He'd throw the ball. He came in on a 3rd and 2, give it to him and just let him go. A little bit like the old Rhino for the Wampus Cats.
It was Trace Heffernan picking up the first down.
Still in.
So it was 13, and that quarterback had the wrong number there. Going to hand off there to Wilson to pick up of 3 or 4.
So they basically they brought in their backup backfield because Hayden is out as well. So they're going to give them a little bit of a break, and at some point you're going to wonder if they're going to wear out Hayden, and they're giving him a breather here.
Well, and the other thing you have to factor in, we keep saying it, it's a non-conference game. Everybody wants to play and have a good game, but you also don't want to do anything to jeopardize your starters, as we're both going back into conference play next week.
Really good effort by the interior line there. Linebackers in as well, but you had, looks like Banks was in there, made a great play. Yeah. Laverne Floyd also in the play. That's a good spot. Now we've got 3rd and 4 is not necessarily a great spot, but boy, it's been worse. This is a good time for us to get some pressure in on the quarterback. They brought Hayden back in now, and
Strother.
Yeah, you can expect one of those 2 guys to do it here.
They'll hand off to Hayden. Had hands on him in the backfield, but he's going to fall forward past that first down marker.
Yeah, we don't really want a fresh Hayden. That's not necessarily a good thing. But we made, he got 4 or 5 there, actually 5. And normally it's a good spot, but it is what it is there.
That's going to do it for the first quarter. We're all tied 14-all here in Conway. 30-second break, and we're back on Conway Court.
Community is everywhere. Banking where you are, when you need it. On any device. At home. And wherever you play. We're committed to offering excellent service, competitive rates, and convenience in each of our 27 locations and beyond. Visit our website and discover how we can help your community at First Community Bank, where community is everything.
At Conway Corp, we believe in providing the very best services for you and your family. That's why Conway Corp offers a home security and home automation service. With it, you get the reliability and peace of mind of a home security system backed by a local team you know and trust. Learn more at conwaycorp.com.
So we have a lot of changes that we've seen on our side of the ball. We've got some guys that are dinged up. We're going to rest. Interesting. I mean, the backup quarterback that they've brought back in now is number 13, Trace Heffernan. He's listed as a wide receiver and as a strong safety, and not even on the depth chart as a quarterback. So they're trying out some new angles as well.
It's a fun night seeing a team you've never seen before, and they're switching it up too. They're not switching it up here. Hand off to Hayden on that right side, and he's going to get a gain of around 9.
Yeah, and again, our defensive line is asking for a little bit of help there. Had a little bit of a hook on the outside that you know, when you turn a defensive lineman, a lot of times, I mean, there's holding every play, but when you turn a defensive lineman at the point of attack, that's normally where you're going to get a call. Our guy asked for it and just didn't get it.
With that carry, Hayden already over 100 yards here in the first half. And they will fake it to him this time. Strother going to keep it. Trying to get a first down there. He's going to be short.
Good play, staying at home. I mean, you know, you work Hayden. You've got to be ready for that opportunity for them to go a different direction. And we did a good job of maintaining on this side of the ball rather than going with the flow with Hayden. Good job by our backside defensive line.
Maurice Freeman, Trey Banks checking back in on this play. 3rd and 1 coming up for the Purple Wave.
You got to expect to see either Strother or Hayden here.
Go back to that heavy set. They're going to hand off to Hayden. They make contact in the backfield, but he's going to be real close. It's going to depend on the spot here.
Yeah, he's calling him forward.
Yeah, he's got a first down. We keep getting hands on him in the backfield.
Yeah, he's having to work for it a little bit now. I mean, he's a threat to pop it at any given point. I mean, that could happen. But we're making him work now. We've made some adjustments. Good job by our coaching staff of trying to get some hats on Hayden.
1st and 10 coming up at the 41. The trips to the left for Strother. We'll bring 15 in motion, give him the ball.
Yeah, working the jet there. That's a kind of a little bit of a wrinkle into their normal game, but sometimes you've got to challenge us and make sure that we're not just keeping every eye on Hayden, and that's a good chance for them to see what we're looking at, kind of test it out, and that's a good gain of about 6-7 yards.
That's Ty Wilson, their backup running back, but he's been all over the field tonight as well.
Yeah, their guys play everywhere. Yeah.
2nd and 4. I'll hand off to Hayden here, and he's met right at that line of scrimmage. Proc, Robinson in on the action there.
We'd like to get them 3rd and longer than this, but again, they're having to work for it now. And again, after the first couple of drives, you wouldn't think we'd be tied up right here. But here's the other thing it does: when you make them work for it, when you make Hayden work for it, it's one of the things I talked about earlier on. Is you're beginning to kind of tire him out. Yeah, you're going to give him the ball a lot because he's a great running back. But if you're dragging him down 1-2 yards at a time, man, that wears on you.
3rd and 2, back to that goal line set. They'll hand off to Hayden on the right side. Going right off tackle. He's going to have another first down.
Yeah, that's hard stopping him for 1 to 2 yards. He only needed 1. He got about 1.5, maybe 2. But those are tough yards.
Good shot of our coaching staff and sideline there. You heard part of the story, how we ended up with this game. Coaching connection between Colton Jackson and Hayden's older brother,
Chase,
who he played with at Arkansas.
Yep.
Another handoff to Hayden here. He's met right at that line of scrimmage by Maurice Freeman coming off the edge.
Yeah, backside. That's a great play. Hopefully they don't catch us there and pop something outside. But Maurice did a great job of staying on this side of Hayden and keeping him in front and to the middle of the field side, because if he pops that out, there's nobody left for about another 10 or 12 yards. So good job by Maurice Freeman there.
Bryce Daly checking in for the Purple Wave. Number 11. He goes in motion there over to the right side. They'll hand off to Hayden. He's trying to bounce it out to that right side. He has got space. 29-yard score. 2nd touchdown run for Hayden here in the first half. Purple Wave back on top.
If he gets the chance, and we talked about that on the play before, right, where we contained him to the inside of the defensive line. If he bounces it out, that's absolutely trouble for us, and it'd be trouble for anybody, quite frankly. But he's just so big, so fast. If he gets space, he's going to score.
Kowski with the point after attempt. It's up and good. 21-14. Purple Wave back on top. 7:40 to go. 30 seconds and we're back here on Conway Court.
Attention, please. The news conference will start in mere moments.
Hi, welcome. Good day. I know you have lots of questions about the mysteries surrounding the new Ford Bronco.
We have questions. Over here.
I know you're excited about the new Ford Bronco. The simple answer is Smith Ford is here to help you order and build your new 2021 Ford Bronco.
Come experience Smith Ford's family customer service in Conway, exit 127, right off of I-40.
Nice long drive there for the Christian brothers. Getting a shot of our home stands here. Pretty good crowd for a non-conference Week 8 opponent. I still can't process this. Week 8 and we're playing a non-conference game. It's happening.
Nobody expected us to be here tonight. We were supposed to be at Quigley, so getting everybody here that's here, great job by our fans to really buy up tickets and show up for the Wampus Cats.
And props to all the folks across the way that came from Memphis, Tennessee. They have a pretty good crowd. I've seen less people for in-state opponents. Yep. I'll just say it that way. I won't call any names out.
That's Bryce Bohannon.
Bryce Bohannon taking the kickoff. Take it down near the 25, so nice starting position coming up for your Wampus Cats.
That was a different kind of drive. So we've seen a one-play drive. We've seen just a kind of a gashed drive by Christian brothers, and then that was just a real lethargic, just 3, 4, 5 yards at a time, and so it gave our offense a chance to kind of rethink things and get set. So hopefully we can answer like we've done before.
Weiss 8 for 10 here in the first half, 153 yards and 2 scores, and he's going to find Wes Boudreaux. Wes juggling that ball, and it's going to be incomplete.
Yeah, tough position to try to catch that ball. He was turned completely around, and West is a sure-handed guy, but these guys are so fast. I mean, you're trying to work at a different pace and tried to turn too quickly there.
2 receivers to each side for Weiss. Carr in the backfield. Weiss looking to his right, finds Micah Mosby on the comeback. Mosby down near the 35. It's going to be a first down.
Yeah, just enough for a first down. And I was just watching that time, we talked about the change for Jaden Williams. Man, he did a great job on the edge there. He is really looking good.
Trips left for Weiss, going to roll out to his right. Trying to set up a screen for Carr, but Purple Wave sniffing that one out.
Yeah, there was nobody home there. We didn't need anything there. That's a great job, senior, making a good decision just to throw the ball into the ground. And, even if he completes it, I think Tufu was down the field too far anyway.
Go trips to the left again. Going to find Manny Smith on the quick catch, and he's going to make some room. Manny Smith, 65 yards, and it's all the junior.
Manny, have we had this conversation before? Manny's good in the open field. Manny's good at making a juke move, and they didn't have much time to prepare for that.
Well, that was contact behind the line.
Yeah.
And then he takes it 65 yards.
Again, I'm worried about just getting back to the line of scrimmage there, making at least a negative play into something positive. Wow, that's positive.
Low snap, good recovery there. The extra point is up and good from Mejia. We're all tied up again, 21 all, 7:01 to go here in the first half. 30 seconds and we're back on Conway Court.
When you're looking for a new home in Conway, why not call on someone who knows the city better than anyone? Velda Luters with Coldwell Banker RPM Group. She has 25 years of experience and understands every aspect of the home buying and selling process. Buying a home can be stressful, but it doesn't have to be. Working with Velda is easy because she knows your needs are unique and she gives you the personalized service it takes to find your perfect home. She loves Conway High Sports and is a longtime supporter of the Conway Wampus Cats and Lady Cats. Find current listings at her website, veldaluters.com, or give her a call.
Well, folks, settle in the way things are going. We could be here for a while tonight as we've already combined for 42 points and not even a full quarter and a half of play here tonight at John McConnell Stadium. Some other scores of note that we'll keep updating you on throughout the night. Bryant is up 21-7 on Cabot in the second quarter. Christian Brothers will have good starting field position here.
A little bit deeper kick that time, but still kicking it away from Hayden, and that's the goal there. Those pooch kicks, or the sky kicks as they call them, as well as directional kick. And he has done a good job, and we've seen him all year long really be able to kind of spot his kicks. Maybe not the strongest leg in the world, but he's been really good at directional kicking.
Been very accurate in everything he's done so far.
For
Perfect on PATs, only missed one field goal. Hasn't attempted a ton, but Hayden's met at the line of scrimmage by a bevy of Wampus Cats, including Lee Vern Floyd.
Yeah, great job by the interior defensive line there. I mean, these guys have a lot of pride, and the Wampus Cats, the whole makeup of this team is real positive. They're very sure of what they're doing, and so when you get guys like that and you get kind of gouged like Hayden has done a couple of times here, that pride kind of kicks in, and you're going to play hard.
2nd and 8. Freeman coming in on that edge. Strother is going to look deep. And they're going to throw a flag on Garlington.
Yeah. He raised his hands like, I really didn't do anything wrong there, but good call by the officials. They held him right out of his break. Who knows if that's going to be completed or not, but if you're kind of hand checking as you kind of go, they'll let some of that go. But just like a hold on the offensive line, if you turn the guy at the wrong time, that's going to be a penalty every time. So unfortunate break there for us.
That'll move the ball right to midfield.
Can't give them any help. We just really can't. We can't afford a lot of penalties at all, ever. But, boy, tonight we really can't.
1st and 10. Strother will hand off to Hayden, and he is just accelerating right through the middle of that line.
That's one of those times when we've seen him dance in the backfield a couple of times. That's what you really need, because if he gets the gap, if he sees the seam, their guys again are so big, and their offensive line is very talented. If they've got that gap there, boy, he can go a long way. He almost broke it, to go the distance.
Such a contrast of styles that you're seeing offensively here tonight.
Yeah.
Quick pace, fast scoring from your Wampus Cats, and then slow, methodical, run the ball right at you here from the Purple Wave. And they'll hand off to Hayden again as he's going to stretch it out on that far side. Be a short gain.
Yeah, that's we did a good job there on the edge. We really did not pay much attention to anything else except sprinting to the edge. Preston did a good job of getting it strung out just enough to give our other linebackers and our secondary time to come up and make a play. 2nd and 8 is really not bad.
Marcavis Stuckett checking in. Second time I've seen him on the field tonight. Number 25, defensive back.
Good to see him out here. He plays a lot on the junior varsity team.
2nd and 8, Wilson in motion. Excuse me, they'll hand off to Wilson. Yeah. It was Daly in motion. Short gain for Wilson.
Great job by Traylon McClure coming off of the edge. We brought our safety up, flew to the ball, made the play, and really he lost about a half a yard.
Yeah, correction, no gain.
Yeah, he lost about a half a yard.
Yeah.
So, man, negative plays, that's hard to come by with this team.
3rd and 9. Haven't got to say that much tonight. They will keep Wilson in the backfield. Strother's going to fake it and try and keep it himself, and he's met right at that line of scrimmage. Well, he might be behind the line. I'll call that a sack.
Yeah, that's Banks did a that's old school. Again, this is old school football, and I'm kind of enjoying a little bit of this as much as I enjoy our offense. He did a great job of just doing his responsibility. He could have chased the play and didn't. Stayed right with the quarterback. It's back in the old days. You got the quarterback. You don't move. You make sure he doesn't have the ball. Did a great job. He had no place to go.
We're under 4 minutes to play here in the first half. 4th and 10. Purple Wave will keep their offense on the field. Tried to draw your Wampus Cats off sides unsuccessfully. They're going to take a penalty here.
Yeah, delay game.
Back things up a little bit, give them a little more room to punt.
Those are the kind of decisions you don't really see at the high school level. I'm just thinking these guys look a little bit more like a pro approach to the team in terms of huddling. You got to do all those things. Working the clock down. That's an interesting move. It's 3:30 to left. Maybe they don't want the Razorback, the Wampus Cats. I keep thinking about Chase. The Wampus Cats to have the ball. I mean, we've shown the ability to score.
They weren't sure what they were doing there, and we're going to have to call timeout. We were not prepared to have our punt team out there. Conway's going to take a timeout here. We'll go ahead and keep things here, and it's been a interesting few seconds here.
Yeah, including me calling them the Razorbacks. So here's the thing there. You want to make sure, even at 4th and 15, I mean, you don't want a breakdown. You expect them to just to kind of punch the ball down there somewhere around the 10 to 15-yard line and kind of down the punt. But at the same time, you're on this side of the field, on our side of the field. There's a fake punt is not necessarily out of the cards. I mean, they got a defense they can lean on.
Well, and you and I talked about this in our pre-production meeting during the week. Is we might see a lot of funny business tonight because it's non-conference. Maybe you try some things out that you haven't quite polished yet that you want to have ready for later in the season. And that's got to be blocked by Traylon McClure, picked up, or Ashton Waller trying to pick it up. Wampus Cat still trying to down it here. It's going to be downed near the 24. So McClure coming just completely unblocked on that far side. Gets a hand on it.
Yeah, I had some discussions with the coaches, and they were really, listen, they started watching game film as soon as we knew what was going on. Our coaching staff does a great, I mean, if you don't think that they have other things that they do in their life, they do. They love Wampus Cat football, and they pour themselves in, and they said, we got a chance to do something special on our punt team. We think we found something that we can really do to try to get a block punt or at least pressure the punter into a bad punt, and boy, did they call it.
Second block punt of the year. Had one a few weeks ago when we played host to North Little Rock. Weiss, plenty of time, looking over the middle, almost picked off.
Wow, that is 29 is an absolute major player in the secondary. That's a big defensive safety.
Yeah, Brandon Barnes listed as their middle linebacker.
No,
but
maybe he's playing deep.
He's playing like a safety out there.
Yeah, he's lined up in the middle of the field like a safety.
Gonna set up the quick screen pass out to Bryce Bohannon. Quick gain of 5 or 6.
Okay, now we're in field goal range, and that's good news. What we want to do, though, boy, we'd love, I mean, after you have a big play like that, what a great blow to be able to get 6 here.
Well, and the key to slowing down this run game is to get ahead and force Christian Brothers to start passing the ball more. I'll hand off to Boogie Carr. He makes a move back to the middle, going to pick up the first down. Falls near the 5.
I mean, it's easy to say this after the play, but I was really hoping they would try to do a pop draw like that. You don't expect, I'm sure they did not expect to see us run the ball there. What a great call by Coach Kelly.
First and goal from the 5. Weiss going to roll out to his right. He's dangerous in this spot. Looking back across his left, finds Micah Mosby in the back of the end zone. 5-yard touchdown to the senior.
He had Manny Smith open just for a second, almost threw him the ball, but he was really covered up. The guy was really kind of baiting him, and Weiss did a great job of taking his time. That's a tough throw across the field. That can go the other direction if you're not careful. Great job by Ben Weiss.
Got his feet set and was able to make that deep cross-field throw for another score, and Conway taking their first lead of the night, 28-21, 2:48 to go here in the first half. 30-second break, and we're back on Conway Court.
Don't put your health care on hold.
At Conway Regional, your health and safety are our top priority.
We have extensive safety measures in place to protect you from infection
and a variety of options for you to receive the care you need.
From a telemedicine appointment in the comfort of your own home
to a visit to our medical center or clinics,
you'll receive comprehensive and compassionate care.
When you need to visit the hospital, please know that it's safe and secure.
During an emergency, every minute counts.
Don't delay your care for fear of COVID-19.
After your visit, we can hold a follow-up appointment through video over our telemedicine system.
Whether you need a primary care visit,
an orthopedic appointment, a visit with a neurologist,
or a prenatal checkup,
surgery, a follow-up appointment,
referral to a specialist,
or emergency care.
We're here for you wherever you are,
no matter the need.
Don't put your health care on hold.
Don't put your health care on hold.
Don't put your health care on hold.
For all of your healthcare needs, Conway Regional is here for you.
Back in Conway, Mejia kicking it off, and it's going to bounce just out of bounds on that far edge. That's going to be good starting field position here for Christian Brothers. Ben Weiss, what a first half he's having. 12 of 17 for 238 and 4 touchdowns.
Wow. I will tell you this, on that throw, not only, so there were a lot of good things there. Ben Weiss doing a great job of working to the boundary, buying himself some time, not throwing it to a guy that looked potentially open and crossing over. And here's the other thing. Offensive line did a great job of giving him time to throw even when you expanded the boundary. And on the backside, Micah Mosby patient enough to work himself into an open spot on the opposite side of the field, and Ben knowing exactly where he was going to be. It's real easy to lose your responsibility as a wide receiver and everybody try to work back toward the boundary. Micah did the opposite thing and worked himself back to the other side of the field. Good job by Micah.
Purple Wave behind for the first time tonight. They're going to look deep. That ball almost picked off by Garlington.
Wow. So he had a step on him. But Tyler Garlington is tricky fast. He's tricky fast, and he made a good closing move. And really, the receiver became the defender there, and Garlington almost had the pick. Wow, what a big play that would have been.
We were talking during the break. How many times do you think this team has been down this year? They're 7-1.
Not that many.
Not that many, I would guess. Hand off to Hayden here, and he's going to break through that line, fall forward past the 40.
Yeah, that's, for them, this is actually behind the chains. 3rd and 4 is a long way for them. But, we tripped him up. We made the play that we had to make. You don't want to see him get a dive out for an extra 3 yards. But 3rd and 4, trying to make a play here. Need to make a play.
Hand off to Hayden again. He's going to cut it back to that right side. Man, just can't stop him.
Oh, man. He fell right on the line to gain. Again, that doesn't sound like much, but that's a little bit of a win. But man, we had him. So he's just a tough running back. Kudos to Hayden. He's just a tough out.
1st and 10, ball set at the 45, under 2 minutes to play. Christian Brothers with I guess they have 2 timeouts. I thought they had used 2, but 2 timeouts remaining. Strother's going to look deep. Barely gets that one off, and it's almost picked off by Traylon McClure with a one hand.
Oh, I hate that he's gonna have to come off the field. Came down awkwardly. Traylon actually, he doubles as a wide receiver as well. He's a fantastic wide receiver from the 7th grade all the way up through junior high. He played both sides of the ball, obviously. He's got great hands for a safety. It's what you want. You want a guy back there that can go up and high point the ball, and great hands there. Hopefully we'll get him back in the ball game here, but good job there.
Trey Roberts checks into the secondary, junior. Trips to the left. Strother's going to get a quick pass out. It's almost picked off by Waller. Wow.
Ooh. Waller is, quickly becoming known as a little bit of a ball hawk. He is always around the ball. Very instinctive safety. That's a guy playing up that if he misses and he doesn't make the play or he doesn't make the tackle there, that can go a long way. Boy, he could have gone for 6 there. Wow.
Waller leads the team with 4 interceptions. This Conway defense has had 9 interceptions total. Conway plus 10 on the turnover differential on the year. And that one's going to be coming back a little more. I think we had a little movement on the. I don't know. They're going to call a timeout. We'll go ahead and keep it here, but talking about this turnover number, 9 interceptions Conway's forced, and they've also forced 9 fumbles.
Wow.
So 18 turnovers total for this defense on the year, and like I mentioned, plus 10. Anytime you're in the positive, you're having a pretty good season, or most likely having a pretty good season. But when you can get it to double digits, it's a good marker for a team.
You know, and it's a little bit, it's somewhat like peer pressure on the defensive side. You get the attitude of getting a takeaway, and you build that as a coaching staff and as a team as making that a critical part of what you do, and you really put focus on it. Man, it makes you want the ball. It makes you more aggressive toward the ball. Now, sometimes you're going to miss, and sometimes you're going to get a big play, right? But if everybody on the defense wants the ball and wants to get that big play, man, the good things can really happen there, and we've shown that throughout the year.
So we're under 90 seconds left here in the first half. This is a big play here for the Purple Wave. 3rd and 10. Expect Strother's going to have to pass here. They're going to run an option. Pitches it out to Hayden, and he's got space on that left side. He's going to pick up a first down out of bounds near the 42.
Wow, that's it, man. You know, you would think a normal offense, they're going to throw it, but the weapon is number 1. And so you give it to him in space. You lose a little bit of containment on the edge because you have to play for the pass. But deep down, you know that 1 is going to have it more than likely, and it's just hard to match up. Now, they did use a timeout there, so they've only got 1. They're on our side of the field, so it's going to be an interesting mix of run and pass here, I would imagine.
First time we've seen 4 receivers tonight for Christian Brothers. Strother is looking across the middle of the field, and
Strother passing complete.
That was a really, really good throw, by the way. I mean, he threw it in between. You had Preston Prock flashing in front. He was well covered. That's a really good throw by Strother.
Looked like Jaden Robinson was right on Heffernan's back pocket. I'll go 4 receivers again here. Hand off to Hayden. Or no, Strother's going to keep it. He's going to take it out near the 20.
That's an anticipation by the defense right there. And again, you want to have some good discipline there. They really expected Hayden to have the ball there, and I did too. And that's when Strother can hurt you, is when you're just so sold out on stopping Hayden.
45 seconds and ticking. Strother rolling out to his right. He's looking in the end zone for Heffernan. Just a little too far out in front.
Yeah, good to see Traylon McClure back out there in coverage. Really no place to go with the ball there. And we did a great job, by the way, of getting some pressure in his face as he rolled out. We had a guy flying to him. It always forces the throw up and out a lot of times, but definitely up, and that's the case there.
2nd and 10, 37 seconds left here in the first half. Conway up 7. He'll pitch out to Hayden on that right side. He's going to be tripped up, and there's a flag.
Finally got a hold there. Yeah. We've been begging for it all night, but we finally get one. And that's a good spot, too. That's going to be a spot foul. It's going to be, 2nd and 17 and 18, somewhere along in there. Maybe if they count it from where the flag is, it'll be 20. But
during the run, holding on the offense, 10 yards to the spot of the foul.
That's a big break for this Conway defense.
Game clock operator, please put 30 seconds on the clock.
We're going to move the clock back to 30.
After the penalty, the ball is spotted.
So it's holding as a spot foul, but the foul actually occurred at the line of scrimmage. So it's now it's 2nd and 20, and a better position for our defense. Good break there.
Tough spot for the Purple Wave. Got more movement.
Yeah, 71. Their left tackle picked his hand up. Once you put your hand down, you can't pick it up. Now you see a lot of guys, if their hands are on their knees, they can turn their head and look back to the quarterback, look for the play, look to the sidelines. But once you put your hand down on the field, you cannot bring it back up as an offensive line, and that's what he did.
That'll move it back 2nd and 24. Ball spotted at the 35.
That penalty was on Pierce Charbonnet. Not necessarily a famous football name, but there you go.
Purple Wave running quickly to the line. Strother trying to set up the screen to Hayden and just gets it off. This is dangerous. Hayden pulling back across the field, and he's going to be taken down near the 10.
Wow, that's a great play call. I mean, we had 7 guys running at the quarterback, and you know your eyes light up there. You see it happening. You can't stop yourself from going, "Wow, there's something wrong here." Why are we all having a break toward the quarterback? And it's because the offensive line was setting up.
Well, that might have been that was a big tackle there because Hayden had 6 on his mind.
Yeah, Hayden in the open field is a little bit like having Bryce Bohannon in the open field. You're not gonna win a lot of those. We did a good job of at least staying with the ball and trying to get him.
So a great defensive stand here for the Wampus Cats. That looks like they're bringing their field goal unit out as I see Wachowski, number 90, out on the field. So with 2 seconds left, they're going to go for the field goal.
Yeah, and that's the other thing that I didn't even really think about is that the only problem there, we've got so little time, is the screenplay takes a long time to develop, and so it took almost all the clock up.
Wachowski's 4 for 4 on field goals on the season, a long of 36. This is going to be a 27-yard attempt, and Conway will take its final timeout. So again, we mentioned it earlier, non-conference game, you just never know what kind of funny business you might see. Don't know if coach is just trying to ice the kicker here, or maybe he saw something and wants to talk it over.
Well, here's the thing. You got one time. You're not going to get the ball back regardless. And so you've got one timeout left. You might as well use it. Make sure you got everybody lined up and everything's set. And here's the other thing, too. When we showed on the punt, the only punt they've had tonight, maybe one of 2, I can't remember. But anyway, we blocked the punt, and you set up for that. So our coaches really did, a deep dive in the film. And even though it's a team we've never played before, they spotted some things. Maybe we've got a block on. You've got McClure on the edge who blocked the punt on the far side of the field.
27-yard attempt coming up for Wachowski. Snap is good. Kick is up. And it's good. So Christian Brothers going to cut the lead down to 4 as time expires here in the first half. Conway leads 28-24 over the Purple Wave from Memphis, Tennessee. Man, that was a fun first half.
I need a break. Tim. I need a break.
You know what? I got a break for you. All right? You ready for this?
Yes.
All right. We're going to take a break and recollect ourselves. And, man, it looks like we might have a performance from the band here. So we're going to take a 30-second break and then be back and see if we can show you the band's performance here on the Conway Regional Health Systems Halftime Show.
Education is all about vision. It requires commitment, investment. So we pour ourselves into Conway students and teachers, schools, and scholarships. A brighter future? Now that's powerful. Conway Corp. Always on.
Back at John McConnell Stadium, it's halftime. Your Wampus Cats leading 28-24 over Christian Brothers from Memphis, Tennessee, the number 8 ranked team in the Tennessee Super 25, that according to the commercial appeal out of Memphis. So really good non-conference matchup for your Wampus Cats here. And, man, what a first half.
Well, I mean, I didn't expect to be this kind of giddy going into halftime after the first 2 drives. But, again, you know, we've seen this from the Wampus Cats on a couple of occasions. The Fayetteville game, the first game of the season, just did not get out of the gate very good or very well, and then played ourselves back into the ball game and took a lead before half. And so similar feel there. This is a very talented team. I mean, they're going to come back in and really work hard to get the lead back, I'm sure.
All right, we are going to keep the cameras here on the field as we're going to have a performance here from our Conway High School band here in the Conway Regional Health System halftime show.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything. It doesn't look like they're. That's your Conway High School band performing here at halftime. And I'm not sure if they're done or not. Maybe they're not done. I jumped the gun just a little bit. I'm on pins and needles. Here we go. All right. They're still playing.
And that was your Conway High School band performing here at halftime. We'll have the rest of your Conway Regional halftime show coming up right now and have the second half in about 14 minutes.
Welcome to Halftime. It is the Conway Regional Health System Halftime Show. I'm Jeff Matthews, joined by the Director of Corporate Health Services with Conway Regional, a man that you know, Marcus Elliott. Marcus, great to have you with us. Thank you for being here. And there's a couple of services with Health System that we want to talk about. First of all, these are the heart wellness checks, health and heart wellness checks. Tell me about that.
Thank you, Jeff. It's so important now to make sure you have a good understanding of your health and wellness needs. And in Arkansas, and really in the nation, heart disease is the #1 cause of sudden death. So a lot of times it's called the sudden or the silent killer. So sometimes you don't actually know what the issues may be. That's where this screening comes in, this cardiac screening comes in. This test gives you a lot of information, of which you may or may not know, things like blood pressure, checks your cholesterol, and then your heart rhythms. We'll give you an ultrasound, so anything you have or don't know you have, we'll be able to see and check out for you.
This health and heart wellness check is just one of the services that Conway Regional has provided for the city and the community for so very long. Another is this Patient Navigation Center. Patient Navigation Center is something new. What can you tell us about that?
We're really excited about this at Conway Regional. Sometimes healthcare, getting the healthcare you need can be complicated. This navigation system, I believe, will help simplify getting not just healthcare, but the right healthcare. You'll be able to go on to the website and it'll take you to the specific place you need to find. You'll be able to find and make an appointment real simply and easily just by going to the website and finding our doctors at the closest, nearest location you are. You can do a telemedicine, make a telemedicine appointment, or schedule appointment in person. So it makes it real simple and easy, Jeff.
You know, in a strange way, in this season that we've been in for the past 7-8 months with COVID, and you mentioned telehealth medicine, it's something that probably wasn't as prevalent before COVID, but it is now. And I know for someone who I can get a little antsy about going to the doctor's office, and not because of COVID, but because I just get scared to go to the doctor. You don't have to be. And I love that Conway Regional is on the leading edge of providing that in Conway as well.
Really excited about that. And you're so right. This is a busy time and a busy period that we're in. So the easier and the simpler and the more available healthcare is, the better. And I'm excited about our navigation system. Even I can do it, Jeff.
I think even I can do it from the way it sounds. Hey, listen, I wouldn't be doing my job if I didn't ask you about the football aspect of life. Everybody knows about your collegiate career, but since we're doing high school football here, let's go back to that. What was high school football like for you?
I loved high school football. It was the best time of my life, and I was fortunate enough to play at the University of Arkansas College, but there's nothing like being in high school and that experience and the camaraderie, the lifelong friendships that you make in high school. There's nothing like it. So it's the best time of my life when it came to athletics.
It's one thing to wear the state across your chest, but there's something different about wearing your city and your community and your high school. And you're right, those are connections you make that will not end.
I love Conway now, and it's special to me, and I've made so many friends. I grew up in Little Rock, and I've always wanted to play for the Central Tigers.
Yeah.
So I was probably a bigger Tiger fan than I was the Razorbacks. So for me, high school was special. Well, I just want to share too that we were talking about those health screenings.
Yes.
Here's something real important. We want to make it easy for you to make an appointment. It's real easy to do. Just pick up the phone, call 501-450-2244. They'll know what to do. call in, make an appointment. It's every third Friday. Get in there, and it'll be real quick and simple for those health and heart screenings.
Very good. What's that number again? 450?
Yes, 450-2244.
2244. All right, Marcus. I appreciate you, and it's great to have you in Conway. We're a better community having you here and having Conway Regional here.
I'm blessed. Thank you, Jeff.
You don't wake up thinking about internet speed, electricity, reliability. Your mind isn't on advanced treatment facilities or customizable systems. You don't have to think about any of these things because we do. Conway Corp. Always on.
Good evening, Wampus Cat fans. My name is Kennedy Smith, and welcome back to this week's Sports Report. The Lady Cat volleyball team finished the regular season off strong as they are the 6A Central Co-Conference champions. Conway was awarded the number 2 seed, and North Little Rock was awarded the number 1 seed in the conference tournament this week. With a bye for the first 2 rounds, the volleyball girls are off to a very strong start in postseason play. The Lady Cats swept the Northside Lady Grizzlies in 3 sets on Wednesday. They then faced the Cabot Lady Panthers on Thursday in the championship game of the conference tournament. Keep up the great work, ladies. Wampus Cat cross-country teams performed very well this past weekend in a Lake Hamilton meet. The girls' team is led by junior Madeline Crow with Malena Taylor, Allison Ross, Alex Gruszowski, and Lexi Kennedy also contributing to the team. For the boys, leading is senior John Sutton, and also adding points to the team are Cade Swindle and Ethan Cayley. Both the boys and the girls are looking strong heading into the end of the season. This wraps up another great week for the Conway Wampus Cats. I'm Kennedy Smith, and this has been your weekly sports report. Go Cats!
Jeff Matthews with you. Levi Gilbert also here. And the other man you see on your screen is Connor Crutchfield, senior offensive lineman for the Wampus Cats. Connor, thank you for spending some time with us today prior to the game against Christian Brothers. And we've talked to everybody on the offensive side of the ball this year, what it's like with Mark Kelly's offense. So what have those changes been like for you on the offensive line? I'm sure blocking is different. Knowing what's going on is different. How the changes come about for you this year?
Yes, sir. Well, first of all, thank you for inviting me. Thank you for having me.
Yeah.
You know, Coach Kelly, it's fast-paced. It's awesome. It's up front. It's just blow people off the ball, open stuff up for Jamal to do his thing. Let Manny get back there and do what he can. And, you know, everybody across the board is just on the same page. You just take everybody out of the way and just open it up. Let us do our thing. Fast-paced, let's punch it down their mouth type stuff every play.
It's been a big flip from a year ago. This offense is passing the ball almost 70% of the time now compared to 45% a year ago. What areas of your game have you had to focus on improving to help with that shift in focus for the offense?
Well, across the board on the O-line, we've had to work on, you know, footwork, stuff like that in pass pro, setting to the right spot, not oversetting, letting people pass us, cross our face, stuff like that, hand placement, all the small things that really end up mattering more than anything in the game. Stuff, like I said, just having your feet in the right place, you know, keeping them moving, stuff like that. Just, you know, not moving your head too much, just doing what you got to do to make sure Ben's got time to do his thing.
So I hear the energy in your voice when you talk about this new offense. I know from an outsider's perspective, we always think it's the skill guys that love this type of fast-paced offense and we're moving. Well, you big guys inside, there's a lot more that you're carrying that you've got to get down the field quickly and get set. But it sounds like you and the rest of the offensive line have taken to it.
Yes, sir. Me and, you know, Jacoby Ekman and Jaden, now he wasn't here at the start, but he's here now with us, and Nick. We all really love this fast pace. You know, me and Jacoby got a little bit of experience last year with the slower, kind of get settled in, figure out what's going on. And this year we've gotten the chance to, you know, get a like I said earlier, punch it down the throat, do what we can type offense, and it's really great. It's awesome. It's a new change, and it's welcomed by all of us.
It's been a really unique season, of course, because of COVID, and this week's no different with Central forced to cancel because of COVID. We have a non-conference out-of-state opponent coming in with Christian Brothers out of Memphis. What's it feel like to be a part of a little bit of Conway Wampus Cat history playing an out-of-state opponent this week?
It's super cool. I mean, just the chance to, not have to worry about the things like conference, worry about the point system, stuff like that. Just get to go out there and play a really good team and see what we're at. See how we face up against a team like Christian Brothers. They're a good team and we're good too, and we're going to see how it goes. But, we're all really excited across the board to just get a chance to play some guys like this.
Connor Crutchfield, a senior offensive lineman, is in the senior spotlight for this week. And Connor, we've asked all the other seniors. I want to ask you, tell me about your story as far as football goes. What's your earliest memories? How'd you start playing? Who'd you play for early on? Who are your favorite teams and players? And just tell us about your story with football.
Well, from a really young age, as far as back as I can remember, we've sat at home watching the Mississippi State Bulldogs play on the TV, ringing them cowbells loud. We grew up in Mississippi, moved here about 9th grade, and ever since then tried out for the team, made it for Coach Randy, and just, worked and built my way up to where I am now, thankfully, with the help of Coach Fimple and now Coach D and all those guys, Coach Rogers, it was awesome.
So growing up in Mississippi, did they have something similar to what we have here as far as Optimus goes, or what'd you play as a youth player?
We had a city league type thing, but it wasn't anything like Optimus. It wasn't nearly as competitive as that. It was kind of just get out there and learn the fundamentals type thing, just this is how you hold your hands when you catch a ball, stuff like that. It was small, but nothing like Optimus.
Okay, so there's something you and I have in common. We both kind of root primarily for a team that isn't the Razorbacks. I'm an Oklahoma Sooner fan growing up out there. Do you catch any grief for being a Bulldog fan here?
Oh yes, sir. After the Razorbacks beat us, I got everything from everybody, man. They were all over me that week because I was super excited when we beat LSU. We lost to the Razorbacks, and I came up here for practice and just got waylaid by all those guys talking about it.
And that's what's great about sports is you tee it up in the next week and you get another chance to brag a little bit. Well, Connor, we appreciate it. It's been fun to watch you, and we can't let you go without asking you about what happened in the fourth quarter. You kind of become we want to make you a viral sensation on that block and the point. And so talk us through that play when you sprung Bryce for that touchdown in the fourth quarter.
Well, when we first worked that play into the game plan early on in the season, I always, was hoping for a chance to get that, but I was just doing what I was coached. It was nothing big. Just play 100 miles an hour, as Coach D always tells us, and stuff like that will work out. It just happened to be really big and happened to get caught on camera, wasn't trying to do anything special. It just happened, and luckily Bryce was able to do his thing afterwards.
Well, we had to slow it down because you were at 100 miles an hour for people to see it. So, yeah, the ability to show a little slow motion. So, man, we appreciate your time. It's been great to watch you play, and we're looking forward to seeing how the rest of this year plays out, Connor. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Back at John McConnell Stadium, halftime almost wrapped up here. You see both teams back on the field, getting their stretches in, and man, what a first half. Conway leads 28-14, and it's really a story of two very differently constructed offenses.
One is your traditional 1955 kind of offense where you huddle up. That's called a huddle, folks, if you've not seen that this year. Those are huddles on the Christian Brothers side. But they are very, they're not built for it. They're built differently. I mean, we're a smallish, very fast to the edge team. They are a very big team. I mean, you don't want them. They probably don't want to go very fast. They want to be methodical. They want to run the ball. Not only are they two different teams in terms of styles, they're built differently.
Big first half performance from Ben Weiss, 12 of 17 for 238, 4 scores. Manny Smith leading the way with 4 receptions for 131 and 2 scores. Bryce Bohannon 3 for 82 and a score, and Micah Mosby 2 for 15, and he also had a touchdown reception. It was the last touchdown for the Wampus Cats in the second quarter. 5-yard pass, Ben Weiss looking across the field, and really difficult pass to get off, and he did it. Conway up 28-21 at that point, and Christian Brothers marched down the field and were able to kick a field goal with 2 seconds left. We'll go ahead, and we're about a minute and a half away from kickoff here in the second half. Go ahead and update you on a few scores across the 7A Central, as only one game not being played tonight in the Central. Of course, it's us and Little Rock Central, but we, of course, are still playing, able to play Christian Brothers tonight. But Cabot at Bryant, that's been the big one that people have been watching, and it has not been a very close affair over there in Saline County. As Bryant, we heard over the PA that they were up 42-7. Last score I saw was 35-7 at halftime. Either way, not looking very close in that one. And North Little Rock is up 20-7 on Northside. That one is at halftime. And Little Rock Southwest up 6-3 on Catholic at halftime. Yeah, Southwest playing just their second 7A Central game of the season. And it looks like they're in a tight one with Catholic. Of course, we'll see Catholic, hopefully, if all goes to plan, next Friday here. We talked about it being a historic occasion tonight with having an out-of-state opponent. Everyone we've talked to, no one can remember Conway playing an out-of-state opponent before, so we're just going to say it's history tonight.
Yeah, if David Grimes doesn't know it, nobody knows it.
Yeah, well, I think Jeff, I don't know if this happened in one of the pregame interviews or not, but he said he asked or Ashcraft asked Kenny Smith, and he couldn't remember either.
Boy.
So I'm going to say between all these people, it's a historic night. But another thing that's going to be different, I can't remember the last time we had 3 consecutive home games. Yeah. It feels good. I'm not complaining.
I love those kind of streaks, but yeah, no, it hasn't happened much.
So we'll have Catholic come into town next Friday night, 7A Central matchup, and only one more to go after that, as Conway will end the regular season at the undefeated #1 ranked Bryant Hornets in Saline County. So a lot still to play for. We don't have full clarity yet on what the playoffs are going to look like because of COVID cancellations. All teams are eligible to enter the postseason, but they have to make that decision. So Manny Smith fumbling over on that far side. He's going to find a lane in the middle, taking it down near the 40.
Boy, he's dangerous, man. In a fumble on the kickoff, what happens is just instinct. These guys begin to just fly to the ball, and if you think you've got Manny pinned, that's when he's got you. And so, boy, lucky there for Christian Brothers that they didn't see a 6.
Conway up 4 to start the second half with the ball. Chance to really put some pressure on the Purple Wave and go up by 2 scores. Weiss will start with trips to the left. Boogie Carr in the backfield. Jamal Bethune out tonight, so Carr getting a lot of carries. Going to find some space on that left side, taking it near the 45.
So an interesting change to start the second half. I mean, they're going to come in and make some adjustments. They've started out in a 3-4 instead of a 4-2 defense. So they are playing for that, trying to catch us in the wide receivers in the middle of the field.
They'll hand off to Boogie again, and he's going to get it close to a first down. Late flag coming in, being thrown right near Boogie.
Yeah, I think that's a face mask. Yeah.
Just to finish up my thought on the playoff situation.
Yep.
I believe what I've been told is all teams have until October 28th to declare if they are going to participate in the playoffs or not. So hopefully this time next week we'll have a lot more clarity on what the playoffs will even look like.
Gotcha.
1st and 10 for your Wampus Cats. Ben Weiss setting up the screen pass to Bryce Bohannon, and it's overthrown. There is a flag on the field near the 40, near side over here.
I was watching the backfield. I'm not sure what we got, but if you got something there, you either got an illegal man downfield or you could potentially have a defensive hold.
We saw a week ago the Wampus Cats get flagged for an illegal man downfield.
There is no foul. For an eligible downfield. The ball was touched at the line of scrimmage.
They're going to pick that up. So no foul because the ball was touched by a defender at the line of scrimmage. So 2nd and 10 coming up for Conway.
Ben had to throw it over the defensive lineman, and that's a tough gig for him.
No hand off to Boogie. He's going to push it up the middle. Small gain, setting up 3rd and 7.
So Mark Kelly has seen the same thing. They've gone to 3-4. Now they're into 4-3.
Weiss rolling out to his right. He's got some space. He'll keep it. It's going to go out of bounds near that first down marker. He'll be a little short.
That's okay. I think that's a smart play. You don't take a big hit there. Ben knows the value of staying healthy, obviously. So 4th and very short. We knew we were going to go for it there as well.
4th and 1. They'll go trips to the left. Hand off to Boogie, and he's got enough space to pick up that first down out past the 30.
Very comfortable in giving Boogie Carr a critical carry. You know, you got Jamal Bethune out this evening. Boogie Carr has stepped in. He's been the only guy really other than Ben on the last scramble to carry the ball, and Boogie's done a great job.
1st and 10. Weiss looking deep over the middle for Bryce Bohannon. Bryce looked like his left shoulder was being impacted a little bit there.
Yeah, that's
restrained a little bit.
That's a no call that I'd like to see called, but I understand that. But we had Boogie Carr in a wheel route kind of open as well, so look for that next time.
They'll go trips to the right, and they'll find Boogie Carr out in the flats. Makes a move past the 25.
That was basically the same play as last time, and I think Mark Kelly saw that it was wide open, and that's an easy pitch and catch there.
3rd and 5 coming up for the Wampus Cats. And they'll hand it to Boogie Carr again. Tries to cut back to the left. Gets tripped up, going to bring up 4th and short.
This is we're really in 4 down territory here because it's a little bit outside of Adrian's range.
4th and 3. Ball spotted at the 22. Now hand off to Boogie again. He goes straight ahead. It's going to be close.
I think he's got it.
And they're going to call it a first down.
Yeah. Great lean forward there. They had contact really short of the line again, and he made a press forward and made a good play and pushed to get a first down there.
Wampus Cats looking methodical here on their first possession to start the second half.
Yeah, first down. Good drive.
Pass it out to Boogie Carr in the flats. We'll take it past the 15.
Was really looking forward to Boogie maybe trying to make that back toward the middle of the field and seeing Connor Crutchfield good. A kapow.
A little kapow, buddy.
Kapow, buddy, at the for a block there, but a good gain there. 2nd and 5, I'll take it.
Trips to the right for Weiss. They'll hand off to Manny Smith. Smith's first carry of the night. It's going to get close to that first down marker, bringing up 3rd and short.
Yeah, good move by Manny. He really just took what he had available. Defensive lineman was on him as soon as he hit the line of scrimmage.
Ball at the 11. 3rd and 2. They'll move Smith over to Weiss's right. Yeah. Bryce Bohannon. 11-yard score on the slant. We've seen that play so many times this season. His 2nd receiving touchdown of the night.
So this is the first time all year really it's been hard for me not to say anything as you're getting ready to call the play. He had man coverage, and I was the whole time thinking, man, please throw it to Bryce Bohannon. He's got the slant, and sure enough, it's wide open.
9 receiving touchdowns on the year now for the senior. Extra point attempt is up and good. 35-24, the Cats up by 11. 8:41 to play here in the 3rd quarter. 30-second break, and we're back on Conway Court.
You don't wake up thinking about internet speed, electricity, reliability. Your mind isn't on advanced treatment facilities or customizable systems. You don't have to think about any of these things because we do. Conway Corp. Always on.
Back live here in Conway, the Wampus Cats up by 11 now, 35-24.
What a great drive. I mean, you talk to the coaches, that's exactly the kind of drive they want. Keeps the Hayden off the field, keeps our defense off the field, gets a good rest. Just first down after first down after first down.
Second touchdown for Bryce Bohannon. He's got 4 receptions for 94 yards. This kickoff team getting a little busted here. Christian Brothers will take over past the 45.
A good open field tackle chased down by Mason Jett. We really lost our containment there. I mean, we kicked it to the left, to our left side of the field. He worked it all the way back to the right, to their left side of the field, and had us outmanned. And good play by Mason Jett there.
So Ben Weiss now passed for more than 2,000 yards on the season.
Wow.
And now over 20 touchdowns as well. He's sitting at 24 now tonight. Handoff to Hayden. Gain of 4.
So a good play by Traylon McClure there. Came up and took on the block, which knocked him into Hayden as he was trying to make a cut and stopped him really, at that spot. So a good job. Traylon McClure's been into our offensive line on several occasions tonight, and really playing a hot spot from his safety position.
2nd and 6. Strother going under center. They'll pitch out to Hayden. Sweep out on that left side. Short gain.
Yeah, good play on the edge. Anytime you can hold Hayden to just a couple of yards when he gets it to the outside is going to be a really good play on the defense. We had a lot of guys over there, really filled a lot of the gaps. We did not crash the end too far, and in that case, you're working the boundary to your advantage. You can only go so far, right?
3rd and 3 coming up. They'll go to that big formation again. Handoff to Hayden. He's met near that first down marker. He's going to fall past it. First down, purple wave.
Yeah, 3rd and 2 is almost an impossibility. I mean, you'd have to get him stopped literally behind the line of scrimmage, and then, I mean, they're going to go for it on 4th down anyway. So you really need to have them in about 3rd and 4, 3rd and 5 to really look at a successful opportunity.
And they'll go back to this big formation here on 1st down. Pitch out to Hayden. Going on that left side. He just finds a way to fall forward, it seems like, every time.
Yeah, he was met really at the line of scrimmage. It looked like McEwen
5-yard gain, 2nd down, 5.
Getting him at the line of scrimmage, and just can't. I mean, he's such a big back, and when he gets that forward momentum started, man, he's tough.
Kelvin Thomas checking in on the defensive line, number 78. Strother will go under center again. They'll hand off to Hayden right up the middle. Short gain.
Yeah, but that's really, I mean, again, you're 3rd and 2, 3rd and 3. They look at that as, they're down. So this is 2 down territory, or 4. I keep saying 2 down territory. They've got 2 downs to get it. But it's interesting that they're using their big formation. They brought in Dowell, who is their starting left defensive tackle, into the ball game, and they bring him into the backfield to work as the big. So that's number 64.
Handoff to Hayden right up the middle, and he's gone. 37-yard score for Hayden.
That time, the previous time that they had Dowell in, he went off of him and didn't follow his blocks. That time he followed right behind him, and it was a wide gap and really no opportunity for the Wampus Cats to make a tackle there.
Third touchdown of the night for Hayden. He's now over 200 yards rushing in the game, but that's really it offensively for Christian Brothers. Cuts the lead down to 5. They're going to have an offsides against the Wampus Cats.
Yeah, we definitely have some. We're trying to get a block here, and we've got Traylon McClure on the edge who blocked the punt. He came off the field last time when they had the field goal. Really wanted to get that block and was blocked well. Oh, well, now we're going to go
before the snap.
Offense.
Defense. Penalties half the distance to the goal. Try for point.
So they're going to move it 1 yard, and Christian Brothers going to bring their offense back out on the field. Go for 2.
Yep, makes it a 3-point game.
A little bit of confusion for the Purple Wave. This gives Conway defense time to bring some subs in as well. It's Trey Banks back on the field. Jaden Williams coming off.
Normally they start the play clock anyway, and they never started it there.
Well, they're starting it
Just
now.
Yeah, I mean that's really not how it should go, but oh well. So 2 yards, this is a hard get. I mean, this is like 3rd and 2, right? So it's but they don't have Hayden in the game.
Strother will keep it. And he had Bryce Daly wide open in the back of the end zone. Closes the lead to 3 now for the Wampus Cats. 5:30 to go here in the third quarter. Conway leads 35-32. 30 seconds and we're back on Conway court.
We don't schedule the appointments, but we connect them. We don't read the x-rays, but we stream them. We don't handle the procedures, but we power them. Here's to running the things that make business run smoothly. Conway Corp. Always on.
Christian Brothers closing the score to 3 now with the 2-point conversion. This coming after a 37-yard touchdown run from Hayden, his 3rd touchdown run on the night.
There's a time when the offsides really hurts you. You move it closer to the goal line, and they've got such a high-powered offense. That's an easy get for them.
Kowski kicking it off. It's going to be hauled in by Bryce Bohannon. Finds a little bit of space on the far side. We got a flag on the field.
That can never be good. Hardly ever is it good, I would say.
Flags on the far side of the field near the 35.
They're marking it back already.
During the return, holding against the return team. 10 yards foul.
Well, the good news there is
Conway.
that it's a spot foul from where it occurred, which was right at about the spot where he went out of bounds. So we're back to our 26. Not too bad, but yeah.
Let's see what these Wampus Cats can cook up. Start with a handoff to Boogie Carr, and he's met behind the line.
They're trying to work themselves into a little bit of momentum here. They've had a good offensive series, and no gain is a good down for them, obviously.
2nd and 10. Weiss finds Manny Smith out in the flats. Manny making a move. Crosses the 30.
Okay, that's not, you go from 2nd and 10 to 3rd and 4. That's manageable. We have options here. We can run the ball. We can do a quick hitch. We can do Bryce Bohannon with a slant. They're really, really guarding the line of scrimmage here. They've got everybody within about 6 yards of the ball.
Weiss looking to his left. Comeback pass for Bryce Bohannon.
Yeah, that was there. That's that's one of the rare occasions that we just don't connect up right. Bryce had moved his guy up far enough to be able to make that curl route about 2 yards past the line of gain. Just didn't execute there.
And that'll bring on the punt team for the first time tonight. Snap over the head of Ashton Waller, and it's going to go out of bounds. Safety.
That's you're trying to make sure that you stay ahead of the Christian brothers, and we've had a couple of breakdowns here now on special teams. Really need something good to happen here on the defensive side. We've got to make a stop, got to make a big play, try to turn this momentum around because they definitely have it now.
Christian brothers trail now by 1 point, 35-34. And they're getting set to get the ball back.
Safety is a tough deal because it's 2 points, but then you have to free kick it off from the 20. So you rarely see anything but a good position from the receiving team. Normally on your side of the 50, it almost always happens that way because it changes the whole complexion of the return game and the kick game when you've got a free kick from the 20.
I think we're missing a player out there.
Well, it's the kicker. So the good news is they've not started the clock yet. So, I mean, and at this point, yeah, you've really got to understand, what do you really want to do? Do you want to use your punter? Do you want to kick it? How do you want to go? And so we're choosing to put Adrian out on the field for this one. He hasn't had to kick from the 20 much.
No.
So just need a good play here. Try to keep it away from Hayden.
Well, either way, like you said, Christian brothers expecting to have good field position after this. They're going to start near the 35.
Yeah, I mean it's like clockwork. I mean it really changes up the whole flow. I mean you don't practice for kicking off from the 20 and what all that means in the field, and so it just rarely goes well for the kicking game. I mean, it's a double whammy. You get the safety, and then you turn around and they got the ball on our side of the field.
4:21 to go here in the third quarter. See what this defense can do. Strother will start with the pass. It's being chased down, flag on the field. Incomplete, and expect to have a hold.
Yeah, they were holding Leverne Floyd there pretty much the entire time. He never let him go. I thought for a second it was a little bit more like a screen, but definitely holding Leverne there.
A little positive momentum here for this defense.
It's great. And it's a spot foul. Yeah, so it's marked off from about the 44-yard line. So now they start on their side of the 50. So that's a long. When you hold somebody that deep in your own backfield, now you've got second and over 20, about 24, 25.
After the penalty, the football was spotted at 46.
And that was on first down, so repeat the down here. Strother will look to pass again. They set up the screen. It's time for Ty Wilson, and Wilson picking up a big chunk of yardage.
So we'll have a penalty, a personal foul penalty here on the Golden Wave, a blindside block on Traylon McClure.
Personal foul, blindside block, against the offense. 15 yards, on a foul, first down.
I mean, he really leveled him. He didn't really get a chance, and a blindside block, for those that aren't really as familiar, you have to give the defensive player a chance to fully turn to the play and get his head squared. A little bit different from like the Connor Crutchfield block, where the guy had his face into the play. McClure did not have his face in, and so it's a 15-yard call.
The marker is really far back now.
they've got to get to our 28, and they are on their own 34, 33-yard line. I don't know what that is. Yeah, 39. I don't see that very often.
First and 39. Wow.
This looks like a run to Hayden to me.
They'll go trips to the right. Wilson in motion. They're going to hand off to Wilson. Wilson's going to get to about the 40.
Yeah, that was the other option, is just try to get something back non-Hayden oriented. But, boy, I mean, that's still 5 yards. That's not a lot to get. So now you're second and long, second and forever.
So Conway with several breaks here after the safety. Christian Brothers pushed all the way back to the other side of the field. Got to make sure you can take advantage of this opportunity here.
You want to keep everything in front of you. I mean, you know, you don't want it, but a 10, 15-yard gain here is not the end of the day. You want to make sure nobody gets past you.
Second and 33. They'll hand off to Hayden. That handoff a little shaky there. Hayden's going to pass the 45 near the 47.
Good play by the defense there. I mean, he struggled to hold on to the ball the entire run, so it really slowed him down. Defense did a good job of keeping it there. That's about a 6-7 yard gain. That's a win. So now you're still third, and not as forever, but really long.
3rd and 25 coming up for the Purple Wave.
Wow. Boy, this would be a great stop given what has just occurred. We still have the lead. If we get them into a punting position here, boy, that's a win.
They'll run the option. Strother will keep it. He's going to be down near midfield.
That was a great play. I mean, they busted that play on us for about 15, 20 yards earlier. Great play by the defense to play your assignments. Somebody takes the quarterback. Somebody takes the running back. Everybody did their job. We had a guy out on Hayden, so he really couldn't pitch it. He had to wait too long to do that, and so it gave our defense enough time to gather up and get him, you know, just a couple of yards into a gain.
4th and 1. That'll bring in Simonton to punt. He had a big punt way back in the first quarter. It's blocked again by Traylon McClure. Picked up by Waller, taken down near the 23.
Wow, I mean, same guy making 2 blocks in one game. I don't know that I've ever seen that personally. I'm sure it's happened. But wow, what a huge momentum shift. I mean, this is the world here. You get a safety, they start on our side of the field, and now you've turned the ball around, and you're starting on their side. What a big play.
Get a couple penalties, and then this defense, special teams capitalizing here. 1st and 10, Conway at the 24. Weiss looking over the middle for Bryce Bohannon. 24 yards, 3rd touchdown reception of the night for Bryce.
I mean, this game is going to drive me crazy. I mean, what an absolute complete shift in momentum. One play, a couple of penalties, yes, but then one huge block, and you score in the first play. Man, that's a huge play.
Puts the Cats up by 7. The extra point makes it 8. So still a 1-score game. 42-34. Conway leads with 1:24 to go here in the 3rd quarter. 30 seconds and we're back on Conway Court. Back in Conway, Wampus Cats regaining momentum here in the 3rd quarter, taking an 8-point lead, 42-34, the 3rd straight week this Wampus Cat offense is past the 40-point mark.
Oh, it's just offense is absolutely clicking, even against a big, strong defense like the Christian Brothers.
Getting to see the sophomore kicker in here for the squib kick, Xander Williams, number 18.
He's kind of the squib kick specialist is what I understand, and that looked pretty good. I mean, it actually bounced off one of the up guys, and they just had to fall on it at that point. Really good opportunity for the defense here to kind of catch their breath, and now you've got the lead back. You don't have your back up against the wall. You're in a good spot to try to keep everything in front of you, and we'll see what they do.
Bryce Bohannon's line now 5 for 118 and 3 scores. Hand off to Hayden here to start. Be taken down past the 40.
Well, he's just a good runner. I mean, there was really nothing there, and he found a way to get 6 when there was really nothing available to him. Our defense did a great job there, keeping him contained. He couldn't make a big move, but boy, when he leans, it's another 2 or 3 yards after contact.
Hayden closing in on 250 yards. They'll fake to Hayden. Traylon McClure getting in the face of Strother.
Well, I mean, Traylon's having a big night. I mean, if he almost had a pick earlier. He's got 2 block punts, made some great tackles at the line of scrimmage, has come up to make tackle after tackle on the line of scrimmage, and really forced an errant throw there. Good play by Traylon. He's kind of working all over the field.
He came out at one point.
Yeah.
Looked like he had got dinged up a little bit.
Yeah, on the interception attempt, yeah. Big play here.
3rd and 4, ball set at the 41, and we've got movement in the backfield, but they completely miss it. They're going to keep him from getting a first down.
I'm not sure how you don't call that. I mean, I'm glad it's 4th down. I'm guessing they're going to go for it, but you can't have a guy leaning forward and taking the step. That's really a missed call there. Our coaching staff letting him know, letting him know about it.
They are pointing it out in a firm way.
Yeah, it's you're going to get that sometimes, but boy, that's in the flat out in the open. Anyway,
I think that's going to do it here for the 3rd quarter. Clock is running out. Strother walking to the sideline. And your Wampus Cats at the end of 3 lead 42-34. 30 seconds and we're back on Conway Court.
DeBoard Electronics, a trusted name since 1952, is located at 650 Dave Ward Drive, 2 miles west of I-40. DeBoard Electronics offers state-of-the-art options to customize your Yamaha golf cart or your Polaris side-by-side and even your boat. With cutting-edge products, you will look good and sound good when you're cruising the water. So enjoy your time on the lake listening to your favorite tunes thanks to DeBoard Electronics, 650 Dave Ward Drive in Conway.
Conway Corp is proud to provide internet services to customers who are looking for a reliable, high-speed experience. With speeds up to 1 gig, everyone in your house can surf at blazing fast speeds, whether they're playing games, streaming media, sharing photos, shopping, or just browsing. Learn more at conwaycorp.com. At the end of 3 here in Conway, Wampus Cats lead 42-34 over Christian Brothers out of Memphis, Tennessee. Best of our knowledge, the first time the Wampus Cats have played an out-of-state opponent here in week 8, filling in for, well, we were supposed to be at Little Rock Central tonight, taking on the Tigers. They had to miss their 4th consecutive game because of COVID. 4th and 2. Hand off to Hayden. That's going to be real close.
And I don't even think they were set there. I mean, that was such a quick snap, and I just don't think they got it there. But,
First down, Christian Brothers.
Wow.
First down. Troy Wiseman checking in. Little hand clap there with Michael Hardaway.
All right, so fresh set of downs for Christian Brothers. They have their game plan in front of them. I mean, they're only down 1 score, and they've got the entire 4th quarter to work with. Let's see what happens.
Stick with this big set they've enjoyed tonight. Hand off to Hayden. He's met right at the line of scrimmage.
Short game.
Trying to see who that was that came up on the outside. It looks like it was, Laverne Floyd did a great job of coming off the tackle and coming inside and ripping in between the big blockers that they had, their big package. They made a good job of grabbing him at the line of scrimmage.
Laverne Floyd received an offer from UAM this week.
Yeah, congratulations, Laverne. It's well deserved.
Received one from Northeastern State University earlier this month. They'll hand off to Hayden again, and look like Maurice Freeman flying in from behind.
Yeah, we got to watch. We got to make sure that, I mean, that's a great play. Just got to watch and make sure that they're not trying to any kind of backside move with the ball there. We've kind of jumped their big package pretty quickly their last two plays.
Hunter Higdon having trouble getting up off the field. He got up, took a few steps, and is back down on the field. Injury timeout as they look after Higdon there. Go ahead and keep it right here. Yeah, mentioned Laverne Floyd. The offer from UAM also has an offer from Northeastern State. And Jaden Williams getting another offer this week. Kansas.
Well, he's someone down a little further south needs to give him a scholarship. I'm not going to say, but Missouri. Now it's Missouri and now Kansas. Yeah, he's done a great job as a left tackle.
Yeah, just think, came into the season, no big offers, at least that I was aware of. Right. Starts at receiver, moves to left tackle for the team after an injury, and instantly 2 D1 offers just like that.
It's like they were waiting for that to happen. And, you know, he looks really good. I mean, he looks good on the defensive side as well. I mean, as a receiver, he was playing some defensive end as well, but just a talented guy. I know Salty wants him to stay healthy for basketball, but boy, he's a good player.
Sophomore DeMarco McKenzie checking in on that defensive line. A big sophomore. They hand off to Hayden, and he's got space on that left side, flashing the speed. 53 yards. Hayden going over 300 yards rushing in his 4th touchdown run of the game. He's been as advertised.
You know, and again, if you in any spot, if you get him isolated on our secondary, whether it's in the boundary or middle of the field, he's just too good in the open field. And so we've done a good job of bottling him up here for a little bit, but I mean, he's bound to break one at any given point and can do it. Now they're going to go for 2, go for the tie.
Is he on the field?
He is not. Last time they threw out of this package.
Purple Wave going for 2 here. Strother rolling out to his right. And he finds Acuff, right side of the end zone. We got a tied ball game, folks. 42 all. 10-10 to go here in the 4th quarter. We'll go ahead and hold it right here as Tim looks like he needs a breath over there, but I'm not going to give it to him.
I'm trying to calculate exactly how many scores we can have in 10 minutes and 10 seconds. I mean,
84 points on the scoreboard right now.
Man, you know, as a 55-year-old guy, the defensive side of me, I'm an old defensive guy. That just hurts to watch. But a talented offense, you know. But here's the thing. I would say this. We are toe-to-toe with these guys. We're, again, undersized, but we're undersized a lot. Quite frankly, we play a lot of teams that are bigger than us, but we're faster than a lot of them, and I think our speed, our schemes, talented, skilled players, really good work from the offensive line and defensive line. We've had a great effort tonight, and this is just going to be a game that goes down to it, right?
Christian Brothers, the number 8 ranked team in the Tennessee Super 25 high school football rankings. That from the Commercial Appeal. They're a good team, folks. They're 7-1, undefeated. They've had to miss some games and reschedule games because of COVID. I mean, they're all the issues we're having here in the state of Arkansas, they're happening everywhere. Anywhere football's being played, games being canceled. Your Wampus Cats able to get them on the schedule after Central confirming Saturday, I believe, that they would not be able to play. Manny Smith got some room on the far side, taking it out past the 50.
They looked a little confused on their approach to what they were trying to do there, and Maybe he outkicked his game plan there a little bit. And, again, you give Manny some room, even on the boundary. Manny's just one wiggle away from taking it to the house and did a great job of getting on their side of the field. So we start 1st and 10 on their 46. And this is a really good spot for us.
42-42, 10:05 to play. Ben Weiss. He's going to pull it down, rolling out to his right. It's going to be a flag. Weiss will just step out of bounds near the 37.
Unfortunately, I think we're going to get a hold coming back here.
Out of bounds, there is a flag on the feet.
2 flags down in the same spot. It's going to have to be that pretty much.
During the run, holding, offense, 10 yards, foul, repeat first down.
That'll bring up 1st and 20.
Really one of the first times in a drop back formation for Ben where he wants to sit in the pocket and be able to make the throw that he's had to truly roll out. It wasn't a designed rolled out, and the pressure got to him, and then once the pressure started to get there, we got a little handsy and grabbed.
1st and 20. Weiss looking for Bryce. Incomplete.
Yeah, almost like it was a little bit of a mix-up of what they wanted to do there. So good news is the ball fell into the green space. It didn't fall into a white jersey. So get a new life here.
We'll hand off to Boogie Carr. Boogie taking it down to the 50.
You were the first one to make that mistake. That's awesome.
Boogity.
Boogity. So he, that's a good run. You're hoping maybe for a few more yards out of that, but now you're 3rd and 15, just trying to pop a good one here. They're going to be rushing 3.
3rd and 15, empty backfield. Weiss pressured out to his right. He's going to keep it and go out of bounds near the 43.
He got what he could there. We didn't do it. I'll tell you what, we didn't really do a good job there of. We needed our receivers to take their route and turn it back either up the field. We couldn't really work closer to the boundary. We needed a few guys trying to break free, and really there was nothing there for Ben to throw.
4th and 8. They'll go empty backfield again. We'll have a timeout on the field. Christian Brothers.
First charge timeout of the half.
We'll go ahead and keep it right here. So back and forth affair. Christian Brothers got within 1 in the 3rd quarter after a safety. And then a couple penalties backed them up. They get a second blocked punt. Conway goes up by 8. And then the Purple Wave doing what they've done all night, which is hand the ball to Hayden.
Yeah, he's had some games like this, and you look back at some of the stats that he has. I think he came into the game somewhere around 1,500 yards.
Well, and that was just through 6 games. That was all the stats I could find.
Yeah, and about 19 touchdowns. So they're used to doing that. That's kind of what they do. They're a skilled team. But the Wampus Cats again, we are right there, and you just need to make a good play here. Looks like we may be going for it.
4th and 8. Carr in the backfield with Weiss. 2 receivers to each side. Weiss looking across the middle for Wes Boudreaux. First down, Cats.
And Wampus Cats are not scared, right? I mean, we're not a scared team. We are a confident team. That's Mark Kelly doing his thing. Man, what a great throw. Great catch, Wes Boudreaux.
Just Wes' 2nd reception of the night. I'll hand off to Boogie. Boogie making a move. Gain of 7 or 8.
Well, those are tough yards for a guy that is used to getting some space. He's having to carry the kind of the Jamal Bethune role. The tough inside yards. He's doing a great job. Good job by the offensive line there.
Under 9 minutes to play. Trips to the left for Weiss. Fake to Carr. Micah Mosby on the slant, taking it down inside the 5.
We say, I find myself being surprised by this, but week after week, Micah Mosby does a great job after the catch. He's such a tough runner after the catch.
1st and goal from the 2. Cats hurry to the line, hand off to Boogie Carr, and he sneaks it in for the 2-yard score.
Way to go, Boogie. Now, that's a great response. Again, we've done this all night long. They got 2 scores early, but then we countered with 2 scores. They come down, they make a good long run, and then we can turn around and make a great drive and stick it in the end zone, playing their game, running the ball into the end zone. What a great play by Boogie Carr there.
48-42. Cats on top by 6.
Mejia is kicking.
Extra point is up from Mejia. Good. Cats lead up to 7. 49-42. 8:32 left to play. 30 seconds and we're back on Conway Corp.
For nearly 100 years, Conway Regional has provided high-quality, compassionate health care to the communities we serve, and we are honored to be named the 2020 Best Hospital in Arkansas by readers of AY Magazine. Thank you to the thousands of readers who chose Conway Regional as the best hospital. We are bringing you innovative services, new clinics, more specialists, and expanded access to care. We are not just growing, we are growing together.
Back in Conway, Cats up 49-42, regaining the lead on the first rushing touchdown of the evening. Boogie Carr on the 2-yard run. Boogie leading the way, 14 carries for 70 and 1 score. Mentioned it before, Jamal Bethune out tonight. So Boogie's had to take over. Big kick there from the freshman.
Well, the one time that we kick it at Hayden, we kick it over his head. Awesome job, Mejia there, kicking it over his head. That's good stuff.
Plenty of time left in this one. Christian Brothers have been slow and methodical throughout the night. Just like they planned it. I mean, that's what they want to do. That's what they're built for.
Yeah, just move the ball down the field. They're going to pop a big run occasionally, and they have tonight. Well, it's time for the defense to step up. This is a big opportunity for our defense.
Hayden, 37 carries, 305, and 4 scores. Strother will start this with a fake. He's looking out there for Wilson. Wilson hauling it in.
Ashton did a good job there of just getting back. He didn't quite get his head turned around in time. So it's a big play, but he was right there. Just needed to make some closing room. The ball was perfectly placed right over the top of his head into the hands of the receiver. You can't really do much there.
It's Wilson's 3rd catch of the night. He's getting close to a 100-yard receiving game. 1st and 10, ball spotted at the 40. We'll hand it off to Hayden.
Hayden carries.
Moves the ball past the 45.
Yeah, I was watching the blocking down the field thinking Hayden was in there. So a good job of getting him down with just a 6-yard gain. And I know it sounds like a lot, but man, that's actually not a bad play for us.
Noah Troutman checking in. Senior linebacker.
Hayden is out of the ball game now at this point, sitting on the sidelines.
Second and 4. Strother under center. They'll hand it off. No gain.
Good stack there by the defense. Backup running backs in the game. We were able to get it something at the line of scrimmage, and really they only got about a yard out of it, so it brings up 3rd down and 4.
Host of Wampus got defenders on the play. 3rd down, 4.
And Hayden staying on the sideline.
We've got to be careful on the edge here. Hayden's still, to your points, Hayden's still on the sideline, so you've got to think that maybe they're going to try to throw the ball here, maybe the tight end, quick hitch.
They'll hand off again right up the middle. Wilson being dragged down by Traylon McClure.
He had all kinds of jerseys just trying to hold on for dear life. Again, great play to come up from the safety spot and make the hit.
Doing a good job of not pulling him down by the back of that jersey, pulling him back and then getting his arms around him. 4th and 2. And Hayden is back in the game.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Nearing 6 minutes left to play.
Big play by your defense here.
2 receivers to the right. Now hand off to Hayden. He's going to fall just past that first down marker.
I mean, it seems like all year long that we've had, 4th and shorts and people, teams just get just enough. And so, he literally fell at the line again. I'd like for them to measure that, but, he got what he needed to get.
1st and 10, ball at the 50. Fake to Hayden. Strother will keep it on the right side.
Strother keeps the football.
Gain of 8.
It's kind of like your token Strother carry. He does that to keep the defense a little bit honest. You're more than likely going to get a few yards out of it. He got more than a few yards there. So they are, they're doing their game plan here, which is Hayden and Strother, Hayden and Strother. And more Hayden than Strother.
2nd and 3. 3 receivers for Strother. They'll hand off to Hayden. 1st down. Flag thrown in near the 40.
Yeah, it's behind the play, but they were holding at the point where Hayden went at the line of scrimmage. When you get a hold at the point where the carrier is, that can happen that's going to be a call that they're going to make.
Run, holding on the offense, 10 yards, out of the foul. Repeat 2nd down.
So that'll move it back and bring up 2nd and 10.
There are times when there's a reason why there's a gap there, and so hopefully with 2nd and 10, now we're ahead of the sticks. You're not working off of 2nd and 3, and so a good chance for our defense. I mean, you're looking for a play like that to get them behind the sticks again. Maybe we can keep them behind the sticks in this next play.
Hayden off the field, Wilson in the backfield. Strother fakes to Wilson, going deep. Ashton Waller in defense, swats it down.
Great play there. I mean, he had him covered up the entire time. I mean, there was really no choice there but to throw it because we had the outside boundary covered, and he didn't want to lose yardage. So the best opportunity was try to get that and not get it picked. And Ashton actually in a good position to make a pick there, but made a great break on the ball and knocked it down.
3rd and 10, Hayden checking back in.
You got to think with under 4 minutes, under 5 minutes to play. Yeah, they're going to call timeout. This is a big play for them.
Timeout, Christian Brothers. We'll hold it right here. So 3rd and 10 coming up. Not necessarily a passing play when you have Hayden on the field and you're at the middle of the field. Definitely 4-down territory for them, and it's going to be 4-down territory the rest of the way when you're trailing by 7.
Yeah, though this is definitely going to be a 4-down territory, and here's the thing. I mean, if they get to 4th and 5, that they'll consider that to be a win. And with Hayden, as talented as he is in space, you really don't even have to throw the ball. I mean, they've run that option play a couple times with success when they pitched it early and got him in space. So you can look for that. They've popped a couple of passes on us, but you don't really expect that here. You don't want to be 4th and 10. That's a different game. So you're looking for positive yards, and really the best way to do that is to try to get Hayden in space, try to get him off the edge. That's what I would expect here, or a Strother keeper.
We have a final in Saline County. Bryant 42, Cabot 14.
Wow.
3rd and 10. We'll hand off to Hayden right up the middle. Jaden Robinson taking him down for the short gain.
Well, trying to get themselves in a position to be a manageable fourth down. And so I kind of expect them to be on the edge or in space there. Now, again, to your point, I mean, this is not necessarily a throwing down. Their best play is give the ball to number one. They've done that all night long. So we've got to make sure that we maintain the edges. I don't know that they would try that off tackle. There's too much going on there. There's too many opportunities to get tripped up. A lot of bad things can happen, holds. So you've got to expect either Hayden on the edge here or maybe something a throw down the boundary.
So the Purple Wave taking their final timeout. We will take it with them. 30 seconds and we're back on Conway Court.
Arkansans appreciate community. We work and raise families, care for our neighbors, and come together in good times and bad. At First Security, that local strength is what we love best about our home state. There is commitment here, and heart, and hope. Thank you to everyone who is standing together, learning from one another, and making Arkansas a place we all love to call home. We're proud to be your community bank.
Back in Conway, Wampus Cats leading 49-42, 4:01 to play here in the game, and Christian Brothers facing a 4th and 7 coming off their final timeout of the game.
This is really interesting play call. I mean, for 95% of the teams, maybe 99% of the teams, this is a pass play. You could get a run play here just as easy. It's probably just a 50-50. Well, Hayden's coming out now, so yeah, that might change it up a bit. Looking for a throw here.
Wilson in the backfield with Strother. 2 receivers out to the right. Daly in motion to the left. Strother rolling out to the right. Looking deep for no one. Wampus Cats taking over on downs.
Wow. Well, I mean, just a fantastic play by the defense. I mean, great stand there in the middle of the field. You got a holding call to back you up to 2nd and 10, forcing them on that 3rd down play at 3rd and 7 to really think about what they had to do. They did something they don't like to do. They had to throw the ball, and when you do that, you get miscommunication, turnover on downs. Love it.
Talked about it at the very beginning of the game. You have to force them to pass the ball, make them uncomfortable, and defense finally able to put them in one of those positions. Wampus Cat offense coming onto the field. 3 receivers set. They'll hand off to Boogie Carr. Boogie's going to fall forward for a short gain.
That's not bad. I mean, they have no timeouts now, so we're either going to have Boogie Carr runs or maybe some safe throws. We've got a lot of things we can try to do there. So Manny Smith now into the ball game as well. So we got a lot of options on the field. You got Wes Boudreau, Micah Mosby, Bryce Bohannon, Boogie Carr. A lot of different things here.
Under 3.5 minutes. 2nd and 7. Trips to the right. They'll hand off to Boogie again. He's got space. Taking it down. Give him a very good spot on that one.
That's a really good play. And there you got Jaden Williams coming in. His hat came off last play, so he's back in the ballgame. Critical down here, right? You really need, with just under 3 minutes to go, you really want to work that clock. So a safe throw here would be good. I mean, we've talked about it before, right? Critical down. Bryce Bohannon is always a great option. They probably know that's coming, but they've got man coverage out there. Wow, man, I don't know.
3rd and 3. They'll hand off to Boogie again. Short gain. It's going to be shy by a yard.
I mean, that almost looks like they're playing to go for it on 4th down. Didn't get a good spot again.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not sure exactly what's going on there. I mean, we were a little closer than that, but 4th and long 1.
They're going to call it 4th and 2. May let this one tick down and call a timeout. 5 seconds on the play clock. And that's exactly what they'll do. Timeout, Wampus Cats under 2 minutes to play.
Really would like instant replay. Can we get instant replay? Can we show them any kind of our game footage and let them take a look at where they spotted that ball there? I mean, and really a half a yard here makes a lot of difference.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're fourth in a half a yard, I mean, that could be a quarterback sneak. That's just pressing the ball forward. Sure, they're going to be stacked there, but you might be able to get it. And, a first down here wins the ball game. I mean, that's what we're talking about here. So that half yard really makes a difference, I think. I've tried to stop predicting Coach Kelly what he's thinking here, but you get a non-conference game, you got a chance to win against a big school out of Tennessee. I'd almost put my offense back out here and try it.
Well, that's exactly what they're going to do. Of course, you never know. Reese might step back and punt it, but I just don't feel like that's what's going to happen here. 4th and 2. Boudreaux in motion. He will step back. He will kick it away. Ball inside the 20, down to the 17.
All right, so you're putting in the defense's hands again. Not necessarily a bad option. You're up 7. You got them pinned inside their own 20. They have no timeouts left. 1:48 left in the ball game. Their strength is running the ball. You keep running the ball, the clock's going to continue to move. You're going to run out of time unless you pop a big one, which they could do, but this is what we wanted. We want them throwing the ball.
Well, and it's high time for a Conway interception. I'm just going to say it. Strother rolling out to his right. That ball's batted down by Proc.
Boy, I mean, Preston, again, we talked about him in previous games, such an instinctive player. When the rollout happens, he didn't come towards the quarterback. He knew what he was going to try to do. He dropped back a little bit and got his hand up, knocked it down.
2nd and 10. No turnovers in the game. It's been a clean game from that perspective. This Conway defense is due. Strother dropping back. Looking out to the right, and he's going to make a connection out near the 40.
Yeah, it was an underthrown ball, but he worked. The receiver did a good job of working back in. We had him covered deep. Weren't going to let him get past us, but he worked back to the ball.
Trace Heffernan hauling it in. 1st and 10. They'll hand off to Hayden here. Hayden, short gain. The clock's going to keep on rolling.
We need a break. We need a big mistake here. They're not used to working fast. This could work to our advantage here.
Strother rolling out to his left. Incomplete. 1:05 left to go.
That's a spot there where they're just not comfortable. I mean, he's rolling out to the opposite side of the field for him. He's a right-handed quarterback rolling to his left. That's a hard throw to the boundary. We actually had pretty good coverage. He had to make a perfect throw. It just wasn't there. So again, now you're looking at probably giving the ball to Hayden in some way here just to try to get yourself a chance at the sticks.
3rd and 6, 1:05 to play. And they do hand off to Hayden, and Jaden Robinson wrapping him up near the 45.
Good play by our defense just to hold on there. It does give them a manageable 4th down. Big play here. Again, really critical. What do? You give it to Hayden and have him try to make it, or do you throw the ball, which is not your strength?
4th and 4, 43 seconds to play. A handoff to Hayden, counters back to the right. He's met behind the line.
He did not get there. Levi, he did not get there.
Conway taking over on downs.
That is ball game. And don't think our Wampus Cats don't know it. What a game. What a game.
The Wampus Cats 33 seconds away from defeating the number 8 ranked team out of Tennessee.
Yes.
Purple Wave Christian Brothers.
To quote a new good friend of mine, Connor Crutchfield, this is a kapow moment. what a great game by our Wampus Cats. Just fantastic.
Well, we've heard it from this coaching staff. These Cats, they just want to play every week. Doesn't matter who it is. If a conference opponent goes out because of COVID, let's bring someone else in. They just want to play.
Wow. That is a one happy sidelines, Levi.
Statement win for your Wampus Cats tonight. Ranked number 5 overall in the state. Ranked number 4 in the 7A. These Wampus Cats, talented bunch, outlasting Christian Brothers in a high-scoring affair, 49-42, your final. Ben Weiss throwing for over 324 yards and 6 touchdowns. Bryce Bohannon with 3 receiving touchdowns, Manny Smith with 2, and Micah Mosby with 1. Boogie Carr over 80 yards rushing and a score.
Critical yards by Boogie. I mean, it doesn't sound like much, 80 yards in the bigger scheme of all the stats, but those were critical yards he got. Just an overall fantastic game playing by our coaches. Players executed. They knew that they were up against it with this team coming in. Didn't have a whole lot of time to prepare. I mean, you don't have years of film to go on. Great job by everybody associated with the program.
Well, and what's continued to be a unique season, another unique night here for your Wampus Cats, beating an out-of-state opponent 49-42. On behalf of Ashton, Javon, John, Maggie, Justin, Scott Stats Taylor, and Kara back at Conway Corp. He's Tim. He's Tim Roach. And I'm Levi Gilrow. Man, let's get back to 7A Central play next week. Conway hosting Catholic. We'll see you then.